He's not. He's not better than 6-man Harden that year.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Why do you disrespect that man like that? Yes, he is.
No, he
Yes,
is
he
not.
is.
Which is what made his choke job in the finals so epic. Which is the reason why Stephen A. Smith, time after time, on First Take back then, when Skip Bayless was sitting across from him, was sitting there putting the APB out on James Harden because he was wondering what a he was.
Fresh like I just got a contract. Fresh like I just got a match.
Yo, what is good? What is up? We're here. We're back. It's Hoops and Brews. Back again.
In
the
studio.
The last one for
2019.
So we will be moving on to a new year.
A new decade.
A new decade.
20. Yo, I gotta get a new, like, I used to say, like, that's some 2020 shit. I gotta be like, that's some 2040 shit.
What happened?
Nah, I used to tell people, like, that's some 2020 shit.
No, for real?
But it's like 2020 is here now.
Yeah.
I gotta, like, that's some 2040 shit.
Yeah.
You know, 2040 is as close as 1998, bro.
Yeah, turn your mic up a little bit because your mic always do. But
It's kind of crazy.
yeah, it is, man. All of them draft picks D Wade got traded for.
Draft picks.
Are now in high school and almost on their way
got traded.
to be
D-Wade
in.
got traded for a 2024 second round pick. That was a fuck you trade. You like, yeah, G, take this man. Take this man back, G. Keep him, G. Take this man. That's gonna be like the 51st pick in the draft, bro. Hit that man for a 2024. You know how wild of a trade that is, but that's basically nothing.
I mean, that's doing right by D Wade.
I know. Shout out D-Wade.
Shout out to D Wade.
Shout out D-Wade.
But anyways, man, we're here. It's your boy Pavy and TPJ. I'm
What?
TPJ.
It's your boy Pavy and TPJ.
It's your boy Pavy and TPJ. What you mean? Say Pavy and TPJ. It's Pavy and TPJ.
Okay. I thought
what
you
you
were
mean?
like-
I just said it's your boy Pavy and TPJ, and I'm TPJ.
Right.
I'm TPJ. This is Pavy.
Respectful.
Pavy TPJ. Who's the Rules star? Pavy TPJ. We're here in your face like Craig Mack flavor. New Year's Eve. Show. So I honestly kind of feel like we don't even. I mean, I feel like we should maybe talk like the current season, last 30 minutes, but I mean, it's been a lot of basketball played in the year of 2018. I feel like, I'm sorry.
The decade.
Well, not even a decade. I mean, we could talk about the year of 2019, or we could talk about the whole decade. I mean,
We could
it's
start
up
with
to you.
2019.
What do you want to talk about? I didn't even look at the topics.
I mean,
you
we
put
can
on
like
the
start
list.
with 2019.
I didn't even look at the topics.
I
you put on the
was
list. I
just
didn't mean
like,
to disrespect your list. Pavy
as
coming
far
with
as
the show
like,
topic
so
list.
first thing I want to talk about was as far as teams of the decade. It's like, give me your 5 best teams of the decade and like what years and why you
Now,
put them
you
as
saying
your
best or favorite? I didn't know this.
best and like why they were your 5 best teams of the decade.
Do you have yours prepared?
Yes, I can give you mine off the top of my head.
All right, but I want to kind of set this up in a way of, if you're gonna name your teams, name your first team, and then talk about why, like talk about each thing, and then like, you know what I mean, name the team, talk about why, and then go to the next team versus naming all 5. Go ahead. I won't say anything. Go ahead.
First team, I think you got to say the 2016-2017 Warriors. I think that from like a talent perspective, they were probably the best team of the decade. Obviously, they were coming off the 73-9 season. And Kevin Durant into that. You've got 2 MVPs in their prime on one team. I don't think you've seen that in the NBA. Had you seen that in NBA history before that?
No.
In their primes on one team? I don't think you would. Maybe not until Harden and Russ. Maybe until like now. But
Russ is not in his prime anymore. Stop it.
I still think Russ is
not in his
but,
prime.
But
Stop
but
it.
but he is. But
Stop
but
it. He's barely an all-star.
I disagree with that. He's
Shai
no,
Gilgeous-Alexander
no, he
is
is
more of an
not.
all-star
No,
than
he,
Russ
Chris
is.
Paul is more of an all-star than
No,
Shai
he
Gilgeous-Alexander.
is. No, he is not.
Yes, he is. Look, bro, the
G,
stats are, listen,
have
bro.
you, G,
Yes,
for the
stats-
first 15
yes,
games
G.
of the season, Chris Paul was trash.
No, he
G.
wasn't. No, he was not. Bro,
G,
bro,
what?
bro, we
What?
even listen, bro. We even saw a stat the other day that said Chris Paul was leading everybody in clutch points. The numbers are not going to show it when it comes to Chris. Listen, bro. The numbers.
I've been watching a lot of Oklahoma City
I have
Thunder
too.
games.
The numbers are
G.
not
Stop
going to listen,
it,
bro. The
G.
numbers.
The past month and a half,
G,
he been
Chris Paul
hooping.
has not been.
Before that,
No, he
was
was
not hooping.
No, he was
Shai
not.
been hooping the whole year.
No, he was
Stop
not.
it. You
No,
wild as hell.
And
But
even,
go ahead.
And even Shai has come on like the last 5-10 games or so. He wasn't averaging. I think he's been averaging like 25 the last 5-10 games.
Come on, man.
Now, granted, look, I understand Shai's numbers look better than Chris Paul's, but I think Chris Paul has been the most consistent and best player on that team all season. He's not gonna be an all-star at all, but if I had to give one all-star from that team, I would give it to Chris Paul. I don't think Chris Paul's effect on that franchise and team can be shown by the numbers he's putting up. It's just certain small things he does. Even, for instance, like when we going on our subject, but even the game against the Timberwolves, when he called out the man Jordan Bell's jersey for being untucked, they lose a free throw or no, they go to the line, get a free throw, then next play they throw the ball down court short to get a layup. You don't even get a chance to win that game if Chris Paul doesn't do something like that. So again, I don't think Chris Paul's effect on the third of this season can be quantified in his numbers. I think if you had to pick an all-star from that team, I would pick Chris Paul. Now, like I said, he's not going to make the all-star team because his numbers are just not good enough, but I think he would be the all-star. But going off subject, first team I'm going to go, like I said, 2016-2017 Warriors. I think that was probably the best team doing that run. I think that everybody was kind of like at least at their peak. I think after that, that's when I think maybe Draymond started to decline a little bit. They had too many salaries, so now your bench gets weaker. I thought that was the year in which everybody was as close to their peak as they got in Golden State at one time. I think that was the best team, even shown by the playoff run that they had when they tied the Lakers record, only losing one game all playoffs, and even that was because Cleveland had a historic shooting night that night, or otherwise they would have been 16-0 throughout the playoffs. Never been done before. So first team I got to go with is them. All right, second team I got to go with. You should have just took that, bro. Why you ain't take that a long time ago? Second team I got to go with, honestly.
Fucking great.
Second team I got to go with is, honestly, the 2012-2013 Miami Heat. I think that arguably,
yeah.
I don't think it was, but arguably that was LeBron's best season as a professional athlete. I don't think it was, but arguably, it is. But that was the year we was shooting like 50%. Like the efficiency that he had was crazy that year. He could have won Defensive Player of the Year. He didn't. Marc Gasol won it, but he had a very real, a very real case to win Defensive Player of the Year, and he won MVP. I think that was also like the last year that D Wade was D Wade. Huh?
He was still knee Wade, but I feel
he was, but even that season he did play 69 games. I think he became knee Wade the next year. Remember,
we gotta get a production assistant, G.
I think that he became knee Wade. I think that he became knee Wade the next year. Because remember, next year was a year when it was a point in time in the season from like March until like that game, a game in the playoffs, he hadn't scored 20 points. But I think that year was still like the last of quote unquote prime D Wade. Bosh was still there. They had just added Ray Allen, and that Spurs team that they took on in the finals was a great Spurs team as well. They could make an all-decade list if you really want to make one. If you want to like extend it, I think they could even make a list. So my second team would be them. My third team would be the 73-9 Warriors. I know that they didn't win a ring, but you can't dismiss going 73-9. I'm sorry. Like going 73-9, you can't dismiss that. And I have to put them on that list. Because again, they had the best regular season in basketball history. Steph Curry won unanimous MVP. So I can't dismiss that. Next, it's hard because some of the best teams I don't think even won championships. But next, I would have to go with teams of the decade. Man, next. I'm going to go with the 2014 Spurs. I think the 2014 Spurs, especially in what they did in that finals, I've never seen that before. That's still, even like looking at what the Warriors did after that, that's still probably to me the best team ball I have ever seen. I've never seen nothing like that before, bro. Like I've still to this day, I have not seen a team play as good as a team as the Spurs did in the 2014 finals. Like it was insane. I'm talking about Patty Mills wasn't missing, Danny Green wasn't missing, Kawhi won Finals MVP, Duncan was hooping, Ginobili redeemed himself because the year before, like he was out there point shaving damn near in the finals. He came back, redeemed himself. Tony Parker was still in his prime. He was hooping. Like I've never seen a team play as good as a team as the Spurs did in that final. And my last team, man, I'm sorry, I got to go with them, the 2017-2018 Houston Rockets. For real. I think that was the best team in franchise history in the Rockets franchise history. They went 66 and 16. They had the best record
that won championships are the best teams in Rockets franchise history.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I just think that again they ran up against the Warriors, and again it took Chris Paul getting inaugurated. We don't know what would have happened if Chris Paul would have played the game.
That Rockets team not better than the 2010 or the 2011 Bulls.
I disagree with that.
They not.
I thoroughly.
The Rockets would have lost in the finals.
I thoroughly
Keith Bowles would have been out there trying to strap Harden up.
I completely disagree with that, bro. You had for one, you had James Harden. You also had Chris Paul, who was still in his prime. I think that is the most balanced Rockets team. Listen,
Derrick Rose.
Listen, that's dope. Harden was better.
You had Derrick.
And Harden was better.
You had Derrick
Harden
Rose.
was better. Harden wasn't better.
Harden, hell no, he wasn't better. Hell no.
So Harden's MVP year wasn't better than D Rose's MVP year?
No.
You're lying.
No.
You're telling a lie.
No.
You know you
Take
lying.
it. Keep it. I don't give a flying fuck. He was 21 years old.
What he do better?
What you mean? What he do better
besides jump? Then,
huh?
What he do better besides jump than Harden in his
What does jumper got to do with anything?
What does D Rose do better from his MVP year than Harden did by the time he was an MVP? What?
He better. I don't care. It don't matter. It don't matter. What you want me to do? What you want me to be like? Oh, he a better passer. You're a better rebounder.
He's not a better basketball player.
I don't give a fuck. I
feel you. Chicago love D Rose.
Y'all couldn't even beat the Warriors without Kevin Durant for a whole last game and a half. Stop it, man.
Bro, that's not the team you're talking about. It's a whole different team. That's a whole different team. It's a completely different team.
Even the team before that.
What?
No!
Bro.
No!
Bro, first of all.
No!
No, listen.
No! You been on Chris Paul?
Yes.
Alright.
He was playing pretty damn good.
Alright.
He was playing, the man was
Chris
playing
Paul
pretty damn
versus
good.
Derrick Rose matchup in the finals.
Yeah.
Get annihilated.
No,
Stop
Chris Paul will be fine. Chris Paul's a decent defender.
Wild as hell.
Chris Paul will be fine. Obviously, D was gonna give him buckets because he's bigger, but Chris Paul a good defender.
Eating Clint Capella alive.
No, he's not.
Yes,
no,
he
is.
is.
No, he's not.
Eating that man.
No, he's not. No, he's
Eating that man.
No, he's not.
Eating that man.
He's not. No, he's
Eating that man.
That
Eating that man.
That matchup is actually a wash.
Eating that man.
That matchup is actually a wash.
N Brews is gonna give PJ Tucker his
normal
17 a game. No, I believe that.
Look,
he gonna
bro,
give him his normal 17 a game.
The Rocket, look.
And they gonna hold Harden to like 31 a game, and they gonna make the average score like 105 points a game, and they gonna lose.
No, they not.
Cause Tom Thibodeau was the coach.
No, they not.
And he is one of the greatest defensive minds to ever coach in the history
and Mike
of
D'Antoni
sports.
is one of the greatest offensive minds to ever
So
coach in
the
the
fuck
history
what?
of
You ever seen Mike D'Antoni get to the finals?
And hold on.
You ever seen Mike D'Antoni get to the finals?
Hold on.
Mike D'Antoni ever stop Kobe?
Listen, they had the number one. Listen, they had the number one.
No, I'm asking you, Mike D'Antoni ever stop Kobe?
Team stop Kobe.
He was the architect behind the defense. What you mean?
They didn't stop Kobe. They never ever stopped Kobe.
Well, hold on, wait. In the closeout game, when they got dropped by like 40, what?
They didn't stop Kobe.
They
didn't stop Kobe. That's how what happened in that finals. For one, that's how happened. For one. Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. No.
CAP.
No. For one. No. For one.
That's cap.
No. They didn't stop Kobe in that finals. Gasol was getting holed by Kevin Garnett in that fight. That's what the hell happened. The rest of the team wasn't good enough yet. They wasn't experienced enough yet, and Bynum hadn't come along yet. That's what happened.
Okay.
And I don't think. Hold on, wait. Look. And even Trevor Ariza, who I'm talking about for this Rockets team, I don't think he had excelled yet. Even when they won against Boston, Ron Artest wasn't there. So no, they didn't go in there and stop. I guarantee you, Kobe still gave you his regular numbers. I promise you, he gave his regular numbers in that finals. They went out there holding that man in 24, 23 points. Couldn't nobody stop Kobe. Now pull up Gasol numbers. That's what happened. KG hold Gasol to hell is what happened. He went out to know. In that closeout game, all of them got whooped. Everybody got smoked from the offset. But like I said, I think the 2017-2018 Rockets were one of the best teams of the decade. And
that's big cap.
And no, they even took they even took the Warriors to 7 games. And I still believe had Chris Paul not have gotten hurt, that Rockets team would have went on to the finals.
They're not even better than the Cavs.
I disagree with that.
They're not better than the Cavs any of them years.
I disagree with that.
LeBron by himself is
I
better
disagree
than
with
the whole
that.
Rockets team.
Look, bro. Look.
What is wrong with you, bro?
I disagree with that. Even look,
with you, G?
Look,
bro.
Look. When
you're doing good though.
Listen, even the Cavs team that came back 3-1, even as a team, I don't think as a team.
Kobe that series averaged 25.7 points.
That's normal Kobe.
25 points is normal Kobe.
What he averaged in the finals in 2010? That's normal Kobe. Kobe wasn't out there giving you 30 in them years.
G, 25 points is normal Kobe.
How much he averaged that season? I guarantee you 27.
25 points, G.
How much he averaged that season?
25 points for Bean, G.
How much did he average that season?
G.
Nick, G, when was Kobe out there giving you 40 in the finals consistently for the whole thing?
Bro, what you be on, G? What you on, bro?
It is.
What you on, bro?
And even still, that's probably skewed because of the last game. It is. Kobe went out to give you consistently 30, 35 points in the finals every damn year. Right. That ain't what happened.
All right, G.
It wasn't.
I didn't say he had to give you 30, 35, but come on, man. 25
and
a
again,
game, G.
That's probably skewed because.
A game.
And listen, that's probably skewed because of the last game. I guarantee you, the last game he probably didn't play the full quarter, so he probably dropped his average down. Go game by game and tell me what he had.
I don't want to go back game.
I want to go game by game, and I want to go game by game.
Points.
Exactly. That's probably dropped his game. He averaged down. What finals was that? 2008.
Huh?
Was that 2008 finals?
Yes. Game 6, he had 22. Game 5, Kobe had 25. Game 4, Kobe had 17.
Okay, that's terrible.
Game 3,
36.
Game 3, Kobe had 36. Game 2, Kobe
30.
had 30. Come on, man.
Game 2, 24. But how much were the scores? Like what they scored, they would.
Game 1, 24. Come on, man. Stop it, bro. What you on? Stop it.
Okay.
Tibbs.
Okay.
Tibbs.
Okay.
Tibbs. Tom Thibodeau.
I still don't think they stopped.
He would have put Harden ass in a box.
I don't think they stopped.
And shipped his ass back to Houston.
No,
with that little ass step back.
No, actually, that Bulls team wouldn't have had a chance for one because the way they wouldn't have had a chance for one. They wouldn't have had a chance for one. Look, even if you look at the space on the court in the early 2000s, the way you played went out the early 2010s, the space on the court is different from the late 2010s. Boozer wouldn't even be in the lane. Noah wouldn't even be in the lane half the time because they run a small ball. So Noah wouldn't even be nowhere near the rim. It would be a free parade to the rim, and the Rockets had the 6th ranked defense that year. So the Rockets could also strap up. And the Bulls can't shoot. They couldn't shoot with the Rockets. They would have got ran off the floor.
Okay.
That Bulls team would have got ran off the floor. They could not shoot with the Rockets. And again, the space on the court would have been completely different. Noah wouldn't even have been in the paint half the time to have an effect on the game that you think he would have had on the game.
Clint Capella don't be in the paint.
They would have took Clint out. You know how much they ran small ball that year?
If PJ on the floor, Noah can't stay in the game?
No.
Alright, G.
He gonna be in the corner.
Alright, bro.
And look, listen to what I'm saying.
Alright, bro.
Listen.
Alright, bro. And also,
listen to what I'm saying. If he stays in the game,
they want Tibbs not doing all that switching shit.
And listen to what I'm saying.
You hear what I just said?
What year we playing in?
I don't give a fuck. He not doing all that switching shit.
Even worse.
He didn't even do it in Minnesota, which is why it didn't work.
Even worse. Exactly. Even worse.
It's not worse. Because that team was built to play against a team like Miami. Yes, it was. They wanted to be able to slow down hard and old ass Chris Paul on a bum hamstring.
No.
You're lying.
Ate the Rockets.
You're lying.
Miami ate the Rockets.
You're lying.
G, Noah would not have the impact that you think he's going to have because he's not going to be in the paint like that. He's not going to be in the paint like that.
You are a liar.
Who's guarding Harden 1-on-1 on that team? Bogans?
Huh?
Bogans guarding Harden on the perimeter 1-on-1?
I don't need him to guard him 1-on-1. Actually, we gonna trap Harden. That's fine.
Then we shooting all
No, that's
day.
fine. We're gonna trap Harden. You say PJ is the guy. We're gonna trap Harden. We're gonna leave PJ Tucker open all game.
In the corner?
And yes, and if
knock it down.
And if he take 13 shots a game, 15 shots a game, guess what? Do it.
Knock it down.
Fine. Let PJ Tucker beat him.
And also,
we doubling Harden every single time. We D-Rose and CP manning up. Noah, stay your ass down there in case we need some defense in the mid-range. And we're going to leave PJ ass open and let him shoot the whole series. And if we lose, good.
Go ahead. And also, hold on. Trapping Harden the whole series ain't even going to work because I don't even have to send a pickup.
Alright.
I don't even have to send a pickup. I don't have to send a pick to him. I can just let them ISO. I don't have to send a pick.
What do you see them doing this year that bothers Harden? Trapping him immediately up the floor.
Hold on, listen.
Tom Thibodeau can slow down. Tom Thibodeau can slow down prime Kobe.
I got you.
But he can't slow down prime Harden at all.
I got you. You know why that works right now? Because EG not there. When EG come back and you trap him off the wing, and now we have look, bro, we have EG and we have Russ on both wings. Both of them flying to the wing and both can make a pass to the corners. That's not gonna work the same. And also the reason why that worked with Kobe is because the spacing ain't the same. It's not the same. If we got 5 people on the court who can all shoot, and they all not even in the perimeter, and there's space everywhere, The spacing not the same. And again, I promise you, when Eric Gordon just came back today, when EG come back and they put all them on the court, that running two people at hard to have court ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have Russ on one wing flies to the rim, and I'm gonna have EG on one wing flies to the rim. So you gonna get the other one a free lane drive?
Alright.
And EG can actually shoot. He can pull up from anywhere. So as soon as you lead past EG the ball, pull up from 30. We good. We good. We good. I promise you that's not gonna work how you think it's gonna work.
Alright, bro.
I promise you it's not.
Okay, bro.
I promise you it's not gonna work how you think it's gonna work.
If
but
that's what you say.
Give me your team of the decade.
That's what you say, fam. You pick the worst of all of the worst teams to actually choose in there. It's so many more teams.
No, it's not.
Better than them.
I really don't think that, bro.
That Rockets team ain't better than none of them Heat teams.
I disagree with that.
None of those Heat teams.
I disagree with that.
None of those Heat teams with LeBron on them, the Rockets ain't better than none of them.
I think better than the first one. The first one,
not.
The
They're
first
not better
one,
than
the first
the Bulls
one,
either than them 2 years.
I completely disagree with that.
They're not
I
better
disagree
than the
with that.
Spurs in 2014.
Yes, they are.
No, they not.
No.
No, they not. No, they not.
I said they weren't.
No, they not.
I said that. I put the Spurs before them. Here was my list. I said the 2016-2017 Warriors.
And then I said the 2013.
Listen,
they're not better than any of the Warriors teams.
Listen. Then I said the 2012-2013 Heat. Then I said who did I say after that? I said 73 and 9 Warriors.
So they better than any one of them 5 Warriors teams that made it to the finals 5 straight times.
I think they're better than the first team.
Man.
I actually think they're better than the team that they lost to. Chris Paul just went down. I think they're better than the team last year. Again, I told you the Warriors were the best team in the league last year. It was the Bucks and the Rockets. Not the Rockets. The Bucks and the Raptors. Yes, I do. I think that was a very, very good basketball team. I really do. You had MVP Harden and you had Chris Paul.
You're wild, but okay.
And you still had the very last of prime Chris Paul, who was playing elite basketball then.
They're not better than any of those Heat teams.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
They're not better than any of those Cavs teams, with the exception of the last year the Cavs went to the
I disagree with that too.
And I still feel the Cavs would have smoked them that year, which is the same year you talking about.
Yeah, look.
Stop it.
Here's why I disagree with you. Here's why I disagree with you. The Cavs. Here's why I disagree with you. The Cavs.
It's like 12 teams.
No, it's not, bro.
It is.
The Cavs, outside of the 2016 team, did not have good defense.
They're not even better than that OKC team that went to the finals.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
You have a better Harden. You have Chris Paul is smarter than Russell Westbrook is as a basketball player, which makes a huge difference.
They have enough defenders on that team to defend everybody,
Who?
and you still got a young Harden.
Who?
The Thunder. From the year they went to the finals,
and
they have defenders
and Harden's
to be
the best
able to
player on that basketball court. And Harden the best player on that basketball court.
He's not better than KD.
MVP.
That was KD MVP year?
No, it wasn't KD MVP year. KD won MVP 2 years later.
Okay, he's still not better than that.
Yes,
no,
he
he's
is.
Not, bro. Stop
Harden
it.
is miles above.
Chris Paul not better.
Chris Paul not better than Russ that year.
Chris Paul not better than Russ that year, and he not better than Harden that year. He's not. He's not better than 6-man Harden that year.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Why do you disrespect that man like that? Yes, he is.
No, he
yes,
is not.
Is.
Which is what made his choke job in the finals so epic. Which is the reason why Stephen A. Smith, time after time, on First Take back then, when Skip Bayless was sitting across from him, was sitting there putting the APB out on James Harden because he was wondering what the fuck he was.
That don't mean he better than Chris Paul. They know
he was.
No, he was not.
Not better than prime Chris Paul, but
that's still prime Chris Paul. That's the last of prime Chris Paul. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
That's the last of prime Chris Paul.
I'm sorry. Of prime Chris Paul was the last he made an All-Star team. He never made an All-Star team as
because
a
he was hurt. Because he was hurt. No. Stop. The reason why he didn't make the All-Star team was because he got hurt.
He wouldn't have been an All-Star.
Yes, he would.
No, the fuck he wouldn't have.
Yes,
he wouldn't have made it over nobody that was an All-Star that year.
Yes, he would.
Because the argument we had that year was about Dame, and I told you Dame was better.
Look, here's why. Look, if he play, listen, bro. If he plays,
Chris Paul was better than Dame that year.
Better? No, but listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to me. Can you listen to me?
What?
Can you listen to me? No, but listen.
All right, bro.
Listen.
All right, bro.
Listen. The fact that the Rockets were the number 1 seed, they probably would have gotten 2 All-Stars. For instance, Draymond Green having better than half the people he getting All-Star votes over. The Warriors had the best record in the league, so they get multiple All-Stars. No, was Dame Lillard a better player than Chris Paul then? Yes, he was. But Chris Paul probably would have gotten that All-Star spot over him if he played the whole year because of the Rockets' record.
The reason why
he got the shit over Paul George one year, G. He's better than Paul George what was that, 2 years ago?
Stop.
He's better than Paul George 2 years ago? He's better than Paul George 2 years ago. Answer my question.
Stop. The difference between him and Rudy Gobert has always been Rudy Gobert plays one side of the ball. And people can say what they want to about Rudy Gobert, but he plays one side of the ball.
He plays one side of the ball, yes.
Draymond Green, in his prime, which he is no longer in, I don't care
this ain't
what
the question.
you say. No,
this ain't the question.
Shut up and listen
the question
to what I'm
asking you is,
shut up and listen to what I'm saying. I just let you talk. Shut up and listen to what I'm saying.
2 years ago, when he got that...
Are you going to let me finish?
Go ahead.
Or you going to keep talking?
Go ahead.
You going to keep talking?
Go ahead.
Was he not arguably the best defender in the league 2 years ago?
Debatable.
Gee, he was
I
coming
said
off
arguably.
defensive player.
I said arguably. Debatable, yes. Yes, arguably, yes.
So, the best defender in the league, coming off a defensive player of the year season, and a top 5 facilitator in the league, which he was at that point. Alright, bro. Alright.
He's not, but okay.
Keep talking.
He wasn't, but okay. He wasn't, but okay.
I'm done.
He wasn't, but okay. He wasn't, but okay. He wasn't, but okay. He wasn't, but okay.
Alright, okay. Alright.
And again, no wait.
Like I said, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You just talking.
How do I know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Harden fan.
No.
And it's cool if you're a Harden fan.
Listen, bro.
But if you capping, they not better than other teams that won championship.
Gee, look at me.
They better than teams that won championships.
Yes.
No,
they played the fucking Warriors. Who the team of the fucking decades.
They're not.
Gee, if you gonna look me in my eyes,
to beat that team.
Yes. And Chris Paul got hurt. The sucking co-star got hurt. The fuck? I'm trying to tell you. They lost to the team of the decade. The team of the fucking decade, the only team they couldn't beat. If you gonna look me in my eyes and tell me the Warriors team of the decade, how the fuck you gonna look me in my eyes and tell me the Rockets not great?
Team of the decade.
Motherfucker, they lost that. Gee, Chris Paul got hurt.
You tell me what the team of the decade, the team the year before. How the fuck does that make sense?
Gee, the whole thing. Gee, the whole fucking thing. Gee, the Warriors had the best collection of the teams of the fucking decade.
You just told me to give me 5 teams.
You know what I'm saying, G. You know, G. Look, who had the best run of the decade?
I swear to God.
Who had the best run of the decade? What team had the best run of the decade? No, stop. No, fuck that. What team had the best run of the decade?
Fake mad.
How am I being fake? Tell me the team had the best run of the decade.
They not better than G.
What? No, that's all I said. What team had the best run of the decade? Who? What team was it? Tell me the name.
LeBron had the best run of the decade. It wasn't no team, G.
Okay, that's fair.
It wasn't no team.
That's fair.
LeBron had the best run of the decade.
Okay, whatever.
So
what team had the best run of the decade?
That.
And hold on, wait.
Best
How we get to wait? Don't you slander the man for losing the goddamn finals? Now we had the best run of the decade?
Have you ever once heard me say that he anything other than a top 10 player of all time?
You said he was Jerry West.
Have you, like I just said, have you ever heard me say he anything other than a top 10 player of all time? Yes or no?
No.
Then shut your ass up. Top 10 players of all time lose in the finals. Kobe Bean Bryant lost a lot. He lost what, 3 times?
Okay. What team?
Shaq lost. No.
What team?
Everybody other than Michael Jeffrey Jordan lost.
What team?
So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
What team?
You have never heard me say at any point in time during this decade that LeBron is not one of the best players in this decade and one of the best players of all time.
That's fair.
So shut the fuck up, G.
Answer my question.
G.
Who the team of the decade? What team had the best run of the decade? Stop the LeBron.
The franchise that had the best run was the Warriors.
Okay then. So
the team that had the best run, you have to which team? They are individual seasons. The rosters are different every season.
Okay, what franchise had the best run of the decade? The Warriors. Okay, so if you say the Warriors are the top franchise of the decade.
So how does that make sense when the top franchise of the decade that been to the finals 5 straight years don't have a better team than the team that they beat every year?
No, because like you just said, you said individual years. The 1 year I'm talking about, the one team I put them in there, the other co-star on the team got hurt. I think that team is better than them. I really do.
So what happened last year?
That was okay. Last year's cool. We're not talking about last year. We're talking about 2017, 2018. Last year cool. We talking about 2017, 2018. You like you said that ain't the same team. Ariza wasn't there. Ariza wasn't there. It's not the same team. Like you said, rosters change year to year. Do they not? Did you not just get done saying that?
And guess what? And you still won't get me to believe that bullshit that you just said earlier.
That's cool. You want me to
Rockets
get?
Are not
and you want me to? And you want me to get you to believe the Chicago Bulls would have beat them either? You won't get me to believe that bullshit either.
You can. That's arguable. But you're not gonna sit up here and argue against the team that made it to the finals drive. 5 straight years.
Yes, the fuck I can.
No, you.
The league, teams,
right, bro.
Sometimes you play in a weaker conference. That don't mean
they played in the same conference as that team and they annihilated them every fucking time they played them. They made mincemeat out of your fucking MVP and they made fucking mincemeat out of them
in 2017, 2018. In 2017, 2018, they did not make mincemeat. 2017, they did not make mincemeat. That's not revisionist history. Chris Paul got hurt. How was it revisionist history? The fucking other main part of the team got hurt.
That's your MVP, bro.
Motherfucker, my co-star got hurt. What the fuck happened to the Warriors when fucking KD and Clay went down?
Draymond was still out there. I ain't make no excuse for Steph Curry. You ain't hear me make one, so I don't want to hear that shit.
I do. The other people got hurt. What you want that man to do? What you want that man to do? Half the team got hurt. What you want that man to do?
That's why I said what you said is cap, because that's bullshit.
It's not fucking cap.
It's fucking bullshit.
The other goddamn co-star got hurt.
Bullshit.
Again,
you know it.
Again, they had probably the best outside of. They probably, if you look at offensive rating, they probably had the best offensive rating decade of any team. And they had a top 10 defense.
Play 7 games and win the most.
And motherfucker, they was goddamn close. And they was goddamn close to that man got hurt. And they was goddamn close to that man got hurt. And they was close to that man got hurt.
If you ain't, now I don't want to hear that.
I disagree with that. Again, no, look, but again, look.
Like I said, they not better than the Bulls. You have an argument against teams like the Bulls saying they better.
They better than the Bulls.
You have arguments that
they better than the Bulls.
You ain't got no argument.
They better than the Bulls.
You ain't
I
got
don't think
no
the Bulls
argument.
better than the Pacers that lost to the Heat in the college finals.
I don't think the Rockets might not be either.
You're telling a lie.
No,
you
I'm
lying
not.
to me.
No, I'm
you
not.
lying
No,
to
I'm
me.
not.
You
No,
telling
I'm
a
not.
lie to me.
No, I'm
you telling a lie to me.
No, I'm not.
You telling a
They
lie
had
to
to
me.
stop LeBron James. Paul George probably could have strapped Harden up back then.
No, he couldn't.
Yes, he could have.
No, he couldn't.
They had to stop LeBron James.
No, he couldn't.
And that was a great defensive
No, he couldn't.
team.
Shout out PG. He be answering all my questions, but PG don't be strapping Harden now.
Wasn't that pre-broken leg?
Okay.
Okay then, so stop it.
We can argue he a better defender now. Was he top 3 defensive player of the year with pre-broken leg? Was he top 3 defensive player of the year pre-broken leg?
He's playing in Indiana, bro.
What that mean?
What do you mean? What does that mean? Who
That's not prime.
Indiana, G.
I feel you, but that's not prime. But
the fact that they even made it there, we was all shocked. Stop
Gobert
it.
playing in Utah. Who looking at Gobert? He playing in Utah. We could use the same logic.
That's why he not an all-star.
PG was an all-star. So what we doing?
What you mean?
PG was an all-star. We said when did he better defend it?
But this is the point. Back then, PG was still young. 23, 22.
And he's a better defender now.
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. It was a lot more elite wing defenders playing back then than it is now.
I disagree. I can't say I agree with that.
Come on, man. It's like 3 elite wing defenders now,
I can't say I agree with that.
It's like 3 elite wing defenders.
I agree with that.
And Jonathan Isaac and Ben Simmons are 2 of them.
Wait.
And the rest of them, you could maybe have a pick.
Hold on.
Even guys like Tony Allen was still in the league back then. Tony Allen right now, a better defender on the wing and on the perimeter than damn near anybody in the league right now.
Hold on.
Lie to me.
Listen.
Lie to me.
Hold on, wait.
So, because like I said, continue here. You want to let me do my list or you going to keep sitting a bit lying?
Can I please come back to that one point? The reason why I'm going to come back to that one point is because the league is more offensive minded these days. So you can't even play the same.
That's even more to my point, bro.
But look.
You had to be a better defender back then.
What? No, you didn't.
It was easy to be a better defenders back then.
Because it was easy to be a better defender. The freedom of movement thing, you can't even touch people off ball no more. You can't. So it's harder to play defense now.
So now the defenders of the early 2010s ain't gonna be able to play defense nowadays in today's NBA.
I'm just saying it's different. Listen, what I'm saying is different. I'm not gonna say there's no elite wing defenders. I think there are some guys who are very, very good defenders on the wing. I just think it's harder to play defense now than what it was 6, 7, 8 years ago because of the rule changes and also things like freedom of movement. And the fact people taking shots from 30 feet out. And the space on the court is different. So I feel you, but I can't say that. I can't say that. Because back then, for instance, look, real quick. Seriously, would a Tony Allen even be able to get started minutes right now? That is a real question. Reason being is because now I don't think you can go out there and just be a defensive player. I think you had to have some offensive game. That's a real question, bro. I'm dead serious. I don't think you can go out there now and be just a defender. I think everybody has to be able to shoot.
Then you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Like you 100% serious.
G, who plays on the court?
100% serious.
G, yes.
You 100% serious.
Yes.
Right.
Who, tell me, who is getting minutes on the wing from a guard spot who can't shoot?
Alright, bro.
Who?
Alright, bro.
Who?
Alright, bro.
Who?
You are wild.
Tell me who?
You are wild as
How is that wild?
Like this one free agency, right?
How is that wild?
Free agency, right?
Did I say they won free agency or did they say they had a good free agency?
They had a good free agency, right?
Yeah.
They're not looking to replace somebody that's a defender but can't shoot, right?
Who?
Avery Bradley. He don't start?
Yeah.
Okay.
But listen, no, wait, hold on, wait. I got you. No, I got you. Hold on. I got you. But look at everybody's career 3-point shooting. The reason why this is a whole issue is because you think the man can shoot threes. Avery Bradley shooting 18% on corner threes. For his career, it's about 37%. That's the issue. You sign the man and bring the man along because you think he can still shoot the ball. The reason people complain is because the man ain't been able to shoot the ball. That's a huge issue.
PJ Tucker offensive game.
Decently. Actually, yes, he did 50% from the corner. Look at his 3-point shooting. Can PJ Tucker not shoot the ball?
He a better defender than Tony Allen.
Hell no.
2010s.
Hell no.
Okay,
but is he a better shooter? Hell yes. Is he a better offensive player? Hell yes. I want you to tell me somebody who gets started minutes and can't play no lick offense in today's game. I don't think you can do it. I do not think he'll be able to get starter minutes because of the fact he's not a great offensive player. He would have to develop a jump shot.
Alright, bro.
I'm serious. For instance, even like again, this is not saying that this guy is a caliber defender of Tony Allen, but a guy like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, a guy who's known for his wing perimeter defense, can't get on the floor in Charlotte, and that's they former number 2 overall pick because he has not developed a jump shot.
He can play in Charlotte.
Exactly. He does. Kidd-Gilchrist still plays in Charlotte. You just don't know because he don't play. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist because he don't.
Think about Rondae Hollis Jefferson.
Because again, he has not developed a offensive game. That's why he can't get on the court. He's an extremely solid defender, but he can't shoot the ball. He can't stretch the floor.
I'm not gonna agree with this shit. They just listening to you talk now because I'm still waiting to get my list off because you just been talking bullshit for 30
That's
minutes.
not bullshit.
You've been talking bullshit for 35
How?
minutes.
No, give me somebody.
Do my list.
Go ahead. Say your list. Say your list.
Keep talking.
Say your list. 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 Go ahead. Say your list. 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 I'm done. Say your list.
I ain't got
nothing to say.
Go ahead.
Say your list. I'm not saying this. I'm done.
Go ahead.
I'm done.
Go ahead, player.
Say your list.
Alright, my list. I'm going with the 2015-2016 Warriors. I still think that this is the best team that I've saw as a team this year. I'm sorry, this entire decade. And team for team, pound for pound. Everybody loves to talk about health, especially this guy with Chris Paul's hamstring. Healthy. They're not losing to anybody pound for pound as a team, period. I don't care what anybody says. Number 2, I have the 2015-2016 Cavaliers because they beat the team that I thought is pound for pound the greatest team to ever play in this decade. And I got to give them credit for that. I give credit where credit is due. I think that year honestly was the best year that we will have ever seen have seen from LeBron James. I know he was better in the year when he was going crazy in the playoffs, but that year to me was the best I've seen LeBron, and that was heartbreaking for me to watch. And as somebody who has habitually rooted against LeBron James and not ever been a real fan of his game, not saying I don't like him. I always said I think he's a top 100 human being in history. But as somebody who's enjoyed rooting against LeBron, he took my heart and he just stepped on it and stabbed it and stepped on it and stabbed it. So I got the Cavaliers. Then number 3, I got the 2016-2017 Warriors. I got to put them there for me just because of KD was there and just the energy that they had. It just wasn't close. I don't think anybody had anything to be able to compete with them. And I think that's something we might not ever see again because even with Shaq and Kobe and them, like, it was great. It was a nice run of dominance, but it was a duo. You never saw like 4 elite level players in their respective positions, play at a level that high with each other and be able to get along. It's unfortunate that the media actually ruined that and kind of, tethered that relationship. Untethered that relationship just because of, KD's, free agency. I also think Draymond kind of, ruined everything, as I've said many a times. But I'm looking at the Warriors. And number 4, I'm going with last year's Raptors, man. I really think that was a great team. And I think that it'll be a team that a lot of people will look back in history and look at it and say, oh, they just won just because of the fact that KD got hurt and Clay got hurt and Boogie was hurt and Looney was hurt. And although that is a valid excuse if that's what you want to make, and that's an excuse for the Warriors, I still feel like the Warriors had more than enough tools to be able to go out there and still be able to win and compete. Which is why I was mad at Steph Curry, which is why I will not allow somebody telling me a fucking 4th place loser is a fucking top 5 team in this fucking decade. It's bullshit, and don't let anybody tell you a fucking top 4 loser. You ain't even get the fucking 2nd place. How the fuck you top 5?
Played the Warriors.
Fuck out of here.
Played the Warriors.
If you ain't get the fucking 2nd place,
Warriors,
you ain't
bro.
top 5 in shit.
Played
You
the
ain't
Warriors,
top
bro.
5 in shit. in
Played the
shit.
Warriors, bro.
You ain't top 5 all decade in shit.
Played the
and you
Warriors,
couldn't even
bro.
get to 4th place in the fucking decade.
Played the Warriors,
Fuck
bro.
out of here with that weak ass shit.
Played the Warriors, bro.
And for the number 5 team, I'm gonna go with the Heat. And the only reason why I'm gonna pick the Heat is number 5 rather than number 4 or being number 2, which a lot of people will probably do, is because of the fact that I think that every other team that I just listed before this will be able to create a nightmare matchup for this 2012-2013 Heat, including the Toronto Raptors. I think the Toronto Raptors actually will probably be able to beat this Heat team maybe like 5 or 6. I mean, you got a more seasoned Kawhi, you got a guy in Surge, that would that would be able to step multiple bodies to be at. You got multiple bodies to be able to throw immediately at Dwayne Wade. In terms of center for center matchup, Joel Anthony and Marc Gasol is not even a competition remotely at all on any planet ever, period. And then even in terms of point guard, I mean, Kyle Lowry, fatback, everybody love to make fun of Kyle Lowry, but hey, Kyle Lowry, he did his thing in the finals. He played very, very well. And he did his thing, honestly, all playoffs long with a broken hand, broken thumb, a fractured thumb or whatever, or ligament fucked up in his thumb. So, like, I gotta give them all credit for that. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't put the Heat there. And also, a young Kawhi was able to take LeBron out of his game.
No, he didn't. But
yes, he was. A young Kawhi was able to take LeBron out of his game. I don't think he was the sole reason why they beat the Heat, but he was one of them. I think a younger Kawhi that could be able to affect LeBron the same way we saw, Kawhi affect Giannis defensively. I think that combined with the ability of him to be able to drop 30 on your head and also in the playoffs come out on a nightly basis and be able to give you 8 to 15 rebounds, really, that's kind of where he was really averaging, kind of in between there. You never really knew what you was going to get from him. So I think that would be hell for LeBron. I don't think LeBron would want to see any of that at all. I think LeBron, LeBron don't want to see Kawhi now, period. I mean, we saw what happened on Christmas. So, so those are my teams for the decade. Players of the decade. Go ahead. Talk about Harden because I already know he's going to be on your list. So let's go ahead and get it out the way.
I mean, we like ranking them 1 to 5?
I don't know. Go ahead. You
want to rank them 1 to 5? I mean, I think Bron has to be number 1. I think Steph has to be number 2. I think Kevin Durant has to be number 3. I would go with probably Kawhi 4 and then Harden 5.
You say that again?
I would go with Bron 1.
Mm-hmm.
I would go with Steph 2. I guess I could explain. I mean, Bron, 8 straight finals. Obviously, won, I think, 3 MVPs in this decade.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, 8 straight finals. Steph, even though I think he gets too much credit for changing the game, because I think that it was coming regardless, you definitely cannot ignore his impact on the game. It wouldn't have accelerated this fast if Steph was not doing what he was doing the way he was doing it. I don't think that the game would look the way it looks now this fast. I think it would have happened eventually, but I think it would have took a longer period for it to happen. So you can't ignore what he's done. Also, he has back-to-back MVPs this decade. First unanimous MVP, even though I think that's hilarious. He was the first one, but still, fact remains, he was the first one. I think he has to be second. I have Kevin Durant third. I think that Kevin Durant, outside of LeBron, was probably the best player in this decade. And you can even argue at certain moments he was better than LeBron in this decade if you wanted to.
He was never.
And
better
you would
than
have.
LeBron.
No.
Listen, he was never better than LeBron except for when he played with Steph Curry. So even then, it's hard for me to evaluate it from that perspective.
That's fair.
But I've said it many times. He was better than LeBron when he was playing on the Warriors. But also with that being said, like, you playing with the greatest shooter and a guy that's the back-to-back.
Two of the greatest shooters.
Well, I don't even want to not even that. You playing with the greatest shooter of all time and a back-to-back MVP. I don't like. Of course, if you don't look good, there's something wrong with you. So I mean, for KD, I'm not giving KD any undue credit. He, like I said, Draymond may have made the call, but Steph didn't make the call. Draymond did, and KD still went there. So that's on KD.
Well, anyway. I got KD number 3. Even all that being said, I don't think you can ignore the work he's put in this past decade. That his MVP season was incredible, and even all that said, he missed a year in the decade because he really got hurt. So I even think that team, like, that's even one of the biggest what ifs of the decade to me. What if that first Warriors team? What if KD hadn't got hurt that year? I mean, I even remember when he went out for the year and he broke his foot again. I think it was that happened in Golden State. He had 30 at the half on him. And then remember, he broke his foot right before halftime, I think. So that's even one of the biggest what ifs to me is what if the
still
Thunder
would have lost.
I don't know.
He wasn't clutch.
I really don't know about that.
He didn't have that dog in him.
I don't know about that. I mean, he got him to the finals at first.
Yeah, but
I don't know about that.
We saw what happened. He didn't have that dog.
That's not what happened. I think that he had no.
It's cool.
I think that he had a better, more veteran team at that point in time. They also
didn't have a better team. They had a more veteran team.
They had a better team.
I don't think they had.
They also had
all around. I don't.
They also had a better.
Joe Anthony was starting at center.
Yeah, but he wasn't. Yeah, but they would move Bosh
Mario
up
Chalmers
there.
was starting at point guard.
That's cool.
Not really.
Mario played his role.
No, I'm not a set of Rio. Shout out to Rio.
Mario.
Shout out to Rio. Shout out to Rio for playing his role. But
he played his role.
The point of the statement is Rio is not that hard. Neither was Joe Anthony.
And they would but Joe only played like 20 minutes a game. They would and
respect
also,
for UD. UD was the company.
And also wasn't Perk starting at center for the Thunder then?
Yeah. He's better than Joe Anthony.
I mean, yeah, but not by that much. At that point in time, not by that much.
Better than Joe Anthony.
Not by that much by that point in time, G. Yes, he was. But by that time, not by that much. And obviously, they would move Bosh up, and then they would bring Udonis in. So Udonis and Serge, Bosh and Udonis and Bosh, Serge and Perk, kind of a wash. I'm just saying. So, like, he got there beforehand. But again, I think Kevin Durant has to be number 3. Number 4, Kawhi Leonard. Even though he doesn't have, maybe like the stats and some of the individual accolades as some other guys, you cannot ignore 2 Finals MVPs. I mean, you see he came to the Clippers. You see what he's doing now. You can't ignore that. And for Harden, I mean, I think he's been our best offensive player this decade. I think he should have 2 MVPs. I think Steph Curry's first one should be his. I think Giannis's. I think he could have 3 MVPs. I think that Giannis's last year should be his, and I think Steph Curry's first one should be his. I think he could be a 3-time MVP. I think he's been the best offensive player this decade. Huh?
Talk to me about facts, though.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. 1-time MVP, but I think he realistically could have won 2 others. I think he's been the best offensive player this decade. If you want to say best scorer of this decade, I think it's still Kevin Durant. But after that, I would have to slide in James Harden at that slot. And yeah, if you look at the numbers that he's put up since 2012, I don't think anybody's put up better numbers than Harden since he left OKC. At all, and I can't ignore that. So Harden comes in at 5th for me.
Okay, interesting. So for me, for my players for the decade, number 1, I'm gonna go with LeBron. This is tough for me because I really didn't want to go with LeBron.
I am shocked.
I wanted to go with Steph. But the only thing about it is that Steph has been hurt a lot this decade. LeBron has been pretty much Iron Man, in terms of durability. Kevin Durant has been hurt a lot this decade.
Really just twice. Really just twice.
Has he not missed? How many games LeBron missed this decade? How many games Kevin Durant missed?
Good point.
How many games Steph Curry missed?
Good point.
How many games Draymond Green missed? Klay Thompson missed? Well, Klay Thompson didn't
miss.
Klay
ain't really missed.
Clay's Iron Man. Clay's Iron Man. I'm
Draymond
sorry,
hasn't
Klay.
really missed that many either.
Huh?
Draymond hasn't really missed that many.
This decade? Are you
not really until last year. Last year when Draymond started missing time.
Draymond been nicked up for this entire decade.
Yeah, but he wasn't missing time.
They've been low managing Draymond since 2016. Point being, LeBron Iron Man out there every single night. I can't hate on it. I wanted to put Steph number 1, but I'm gonna put Steph number 2. I think Steph, to me, in terms of this decade, had the best season of anybody in this entire decade. Period. Point blank.
Used to think that,
the unanimous MVPs. Season is still to me the best season, the best actual season anybody's had. This the regular season. It's a regular season. It's a regular season award, not a finals award. Harden never won 73 games.
It don't matter.
Period.
He averaged 36.
I don't want to hear that. Harden never won 73 games and only played 29 or 30 minutes a game or whatever.
With the whole team.
Whatever, that's your opinion. Steph Curry's number 2. For my number 3 player this decade, I'm actually going to go. I'm gonna go with Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi over KD actually. I'm gonna go with Kawhi over KD, but this is why. I'm gonna go with Kawhi over KD because Kawhi has showed me time after time that he has what it takes when it matters most in those big moments. And I got a lot of respect for KD, and KD's been one of my favorite players since he came in the league. But let's just be real. He needed Steph Curry. I don't care what anybody say, more than Steph Curry ever needed Kevin Durant. Period. I don't think they never needed each other. They never needed each other. If Steph Curry won 1 ring and Kevin Durant never can, and let's just say they still lose and they don't get back to the finals or they just get back to the conference finals every year, how does that doesn't invalidate Steph Curry?
It doesn't invalidate him.
that unanimous MVP season is already invalidated as being one of the greatest all around seasons over all time because they lost. But in terms of regular season, it's the greatest regular season I've seen from any human being. I think LeBron in 2018, whatever year that was when he annihilated the Raptors, that's the greatest regular postseason I've seen of this entire decade. So I got to give Steph that, and I got to give Kawhi. Even when he was with the Spurs and he took them to the Western Conference Finals versus the Warriors. Zaza, as you said many times, was a mercenary. And even though I don't think Kawhi, would have beat the Warriors,
that was going 6.
I don't think it even. It's still him averaging 27, 28 in that series, and them going 6. That does a lot for his legacy.
So I was going minimum 6.
And him winning the championship against the Warriors, regardless of who was injured and who wasn't there. It's still a remarkable feat. He beat the MVP. He had one of the greatest moments in NBA history, against the 76ers. He clamped Giannis and still was able to put up like 28 and 13 or whatever in the series. Kevin Durant, I like KD had it easy when it came to winning time. When it came to winning time.
I saw that Rocket series, bro.
When he was on the best team and it came to winning time, he only had that dog because he was playing with Steph Curry.
That's not true.
And Klay Thompson. He did. And it's no disrespect to KD.
I can't say that, bro.
It's no disrespect to KD. I remember Game 6 and Game 7 when the Warriors came back from down 3-1.
Yeah, but again,
I remember those games. What was he at in Game 7?
Yes, but look.
And you going to blame Russ? I don't want to hear that.
I'm not going to blame Russ. I've argued about this mad times. I don't think it was so much on Russ and KD. I think it was so much. I think it was a team effort. I think that for one, look, Andre Roberson had 16 points one game. Bro, if Roberson gives you 16 points, you're going to win. If you look at those other games, the bench production dropped off by a lot. I think what you saw in those first, when they went up 3-1, was everybody was on fire. Everybody was on fire. The whole team was on fire. And then everybody else came back down to earth a little bit.
He didn't come back down to earth?
He was cool.
Exactly. I don't need him to be cool.
Now look.
Steph Curry in the finals last year was better than he was in that entire series.
Debatable.
You're a liar.
It's debatable.
Come on.
It's debatable. In the entire series, it's debatable.
You own one this episode. You own one.
Here's why.
You own one, but
look,
they were running a goddamn boxing one against that man.
Here's why I said it's debatable, because they still did go up 3-1. They went up 3-1.
D-Rose is still amazing, by the way.
They went up 3-1. There was never a time in that Raptor series in which the Warriors went up. Now, if you want to say the best game, I think the game in which Steph had the 40-something points game in which he lost, if you want to compare, it's probably the best game in between all of them in that series. But again, they did have a 3-1 lead. Now, granted, I did just get in here and say the team helped them, but KD was part of the team too. So I can't sit up here and say KD never had that dog until he got to Golden State. That to me ain't fair to say.
You can say that.
That to me not fair to say.
Anyways, moments of the decade. What are your favorite moments of this decade?
You go first.
No, you go first. Go ahead.
Favorite moment. Well, number one is the decision. I think that single-handedly probably is the biggest basketball moment of the decade. For reason being is just the fact that, with free agency becoming what it's become since then, I think that's probably where it started at. I remember, free agency before, it was you would see people signed on ESPN, oh, this person signed here, but it really wasn't a real thing. Now that's damn near just as exciting as the season. To me, the NBA is really a 365-day-a-year sport, and I think it really started with a decision. I remember being in summer school at Columbia College, and the teacher stopped the class because everybody stopped listening. It was yo, where's LeBron? He was yo, fuck it, guys, just watch it. So to me, I think that's single-handedly the biggest sports moment of the decade. Number two, I think it's the Cavs coming back 3-1 on the Warriors, just because so much of the drama that happened in that series, I think was crazy. And even with Draymond, getting suspended,
LeBron lobbying for Draymond to get suspended.
Whatever, Klay saying that it's a man's game. Bron laughing and be okay, it's a man's game, haha. When Bron blocked Steph's shot and turned, looked at him, I never seen LeBron do that ever on the court. Game 7 being the way it was, they are hitting the back-to-back threes, the Kyrie shot, the block. I think that series has to be up there. Next, I think the shot that Steph Curry hit in OKC. For one, I think that people forget that tie. Didn't that tie the NBA record for most threes in the game? I think that shot actually tied the record for most threes in the.
Can't remember. I'm sure it did. Even though he went on to break it, and so did Klay.
I think that that shot tied the record for most threes in the game. And just as far as like regular season, just game winners, if we just take out everything like game winners, that's probably one of the best game winners that I've ever seen in my life. For instance, like I remember what I was doing. I remember how mad I was when they like went in. I also remember the fact that when Andre Roberson turned around, I was like, "Why did you?" If you like watch the play, Steph gets the ball, Andre Roberson just turns around. I'm like, "Yo, why don't turn around, bro? Like, stay in the man's face. Don't turn around." He turns around. I was like, "Yo, it's about to go up." He shoots it. He makes it. To me, that got to be up in there. Next, I'm gonna say KD to the Warriors. I think that just with all the drama that it caused, I think that the backlash was crazy. I remember people, being like, how could you do this? And just the seismic shift that it was when KD went there. I think that's one of the times when he was like, "Whoop, I guess nobody else has a chance. Well, I guess we're just gonna play the season now. We already know who won." I don't think there's too many years like that. I think that usually there's some resistance. You can have a conversation about, maybe who win. And I think that when KD went to the Warriors, it took the league at least a full calendar. It took them a full calendar year to really catch up to that. I think the Rockets, again, that's why I put the Rockets in my team of the decade. I think they caught up that year. I just think that injury just led them to not be able to beat them. But I think that it took everybody a calendar year to catch up, and most of the league it took them 2 years to catch up. So I put that there. And in my number 5 spot, I'm gonna say the 2019 finals. Just for the fact that I think that everybody, we're born in early 90s. The Raptors getting the team in 1996. I think if you would have told me in 2003 the Raptors would have been NBA champions, I'd have laughed at you. I didn't ever think that was a case that the Toronto Raptors would be a NBA champion. Like, that just seems odd. And even like the way that they won it is just storybook. I think Kawhi coming there for 1 year, getting that ring, and then going back home. Like, that's something that's like out of a movie or something like that. Like, it don't really seem real. And just even the whole playoff run to me was just the stuff of legends. You got the shot. I wish that they would have won it in Game 5, because even those that streak that Kawhi had in Game 5, if they win that game and it ends because of like that, I don't even that's insane. But yeah, I gotta go with the Raptors. Everybody basically penciled in that the Warriors was gonna win, and even still, and they ended up winning the series, shut down Oracle. So I got to give it to Raptors, my number 5 spot. And my honorable mention is the Dame Lillard shot over PG, because as that also, as far as shots, might be one of the best shots I've ever seen in my life. To end a series that way, sidestepping from 37 feet, is insane. So that's my honorable mention as far as moments go for the decade.
All right, cool. So for me, Derrick Rose getting hurt is the moment of the decade to me. I think that with Derrick Rose doesn't get hurt, the NBA is completely different, and we don't get this decade that we got. We don't get a era of dominance by Dame, Russ, and Steph. I think we get an era of dominance by Derrick Rose. Really, even if you look at what he's doing now. Let me see. I actually just voted for him on the All-Star game a second ago. I think Derrick Rose is still, I literally just voted for him as we were doing the show.
Give you probably 17 points probably.
Derrick Rose right now is averaging 16.7 points. He's shooting 49% from the field goal range, 32.1% from the three-point line, 5.9 assists per game, basically a steal, and 2.2 rebounds. If you look at his kind of career trajectory and kind of what he was doing, kind of before before he got injured, that MVP season, even the year after his MVP season, a lot of people don't realize, but if you actually remember the year after his MVP season, he was injured a lot. He had a lot of really little knick-knack injuries.
Yeah, he had the turf toe.
He had turf toe, and he just wasn't healthy. But because you win an MVP, it's like, hey, bro, we don't care if you're healthy. You got to get out there. You just won MVP. The
era was just different, and the Bulls really thought that they had a shot.
I'm not gonna say the era was different. I don't blame it on the era. I blame it on the same thing. It's like if Luka Doncic get a bunch of little knick-knack injuries this season, and then randomly he go out in the playoffs and tear his ACL, we gonna always think man, they probably should have maybe let Luka rest a little bit more. Or you would. I feel like that. As a Bulls fan, you're not a Bulls fan, so you can't talk about how we feel. It was more of Derek's hurt, but all right, we know we're gonna be able to make the playoffs because we got a good team. All we need to do is get back to the conference finals, play the Heat, maybe we can beat them. If we beat them, then we gonna win the finals. Because I still don't think any team those 2 or 3 years would have been able to beat the Bulls if they would have met them in the finals, including the Spurs. Because I think that Derrick Rose, there was nobody on the Spurs that could guard Derrick Rose. Absolutely nobody. You had a lot of guys that could guard LeBron James, but Kawhi couldn't guard prime Derrick Rose. Nobody could guard prime Derrick Rose other than prime LeBron, and that was because prime LeBron was quick enough to be able to stay in front of Derrick Rose, including at the end of games. Prime Kawhi can't stay in front of Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose gonna run that man quad off. He is. He gonna run right around that man. And who's guarding Derrick? Like literally, if the Bulls get to their finals, let's just say in 2011, when it's and they beat the Heat instead of the Mavericks.
ACL was 2011?
Huh? No. I'm just saying no. He tore his ACL in 2011, 2012. It was the year after.
It was that early?
It was in the playoffs. Yes.
Yeah.
So 2010, 2011, he wins MVP. They play the Heat. They lose to the Heat. If they would have beat the Heat. That year, they playing the Mavericks. They beating the fuck out the Mavericks, and he a champion.
Okay, hold on, wait. Hold on, wait.
G,
Let me wait. Hold on, wait.
G,
I gotta.
You got Taj, Boozer,
Dirk gonna
Dame.
Dirk gonna work all them.
Yeah, but the rest of but the problem is Jason Terry out-muscled the Heat. They not out-muscling the Chicago Bulls.
And also, hold on, wait.
It's not happening,
I think they
bro.
would have played D Rose similar to how they played Bron. I think they would have backed up off him and like dared him to shoot. And the D Rose you see now, his jumper isn't the same as back then. And I think that a lot of D Rose game, even like why he got hurt, because a lot of it was predicated off getting to the rim.
Yeah, but I disagree with that with Bron. The reason why you can do that with Bron is because Bron is going up against small forwards and power forwards. You can't put a small forward on Derrick Rose. You couldn't put No, you can't.
You could have.
You could not do when Derrick Rose at his MVP height. Nobody could guard him. But LeBron, literally, the only person in the NBA that could guard prime Derrick Rose was LeBron James. Period. And if somebody else tell you that shit, they lying to you. They're lying to you. Go back and watch the tape.
You could have ran different bodies at him and backed up off him, and the fact that Keith Bogans was the shooting guard. He's not really an offensive threat. You could have ganged up on D Rose and also just dared him to shoot.
Was Bogans on that team that year?
Yeah, Bogans on that team that year in 2011. Who the hell was the shooting guard then?
Korver.
Ronnie Brewer?
I feel like it was Korver.
No, it wasn't, and also Korver never started. Korver was off the bench.
Yeah, Bogans was. It was Bogans and Brewer.
Yeah, like nah, bro. Like I don't like.
No, Korver was still here.
Yeah, Korver was terrible in the playoffs.
I'm not worried about that.
I'm just saying,
Korver's terrible in the playoffs. If they make it to the finals,
they not beating the Mavericks. G.
Come on, man. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, bro.
If Dirk is if Dirk is still on the shit that he was on that year, bro, and listen, I also think that people, hold on.
JJ Barea, Jason Terry didn't have a great series that series.
Yes, they did.
Sean Murray didn't have a very extremely good series that year.
They can't do that on the Bulls.
Tyson Chandler didn't play very well.
They did.
No,
they
it's
can do that on
not
the
happening
Bulls.
against the Bulls.
Can.
It's an entirely different energy against the Bulls.
Yes, they can.
Joakim Noah not letting that shit happen.
Tyson Chandler was a better player
Joakim Noah.
Tyson Chandler, who was a defensive player of the year, if I'm not mistaken, at that point in time.
And Joakim Noah not letting that shit happen. That shit happened on Joel Anthony.
It was still happening.
That shit happened on Joel Anthony and Udonis Haslem.
It was still happening, and
that shit happened on Joel Anthony and Udonis Haslem.
It would still happen, and here's why. And also Tyson was also charged with guarding. And listen, bro, listen, bro, and also Tyson was charged with guarding Bosh a lot of the time. Noah is not the offensive threat that Bosh is. I think what you would have still seen is them back up off Derrick Rose, dare Derrick Rose to shoot. I don't know if anybody could have guarded Dirk Nowitzki, and I think Terry could have still had success, Barea could have still had success, all those guys still could have had success.
I'm not agreeing.
I don't think they would have beat the Mavericks.
They would have beat the Mavericks.
And I don't think also...
My point is, as I continue my fucking statement, that I'm looking at that Bulls team and Derrick Rose's injury changes the entire course of the NBA.
I do agree with that.
In the history of the NBA. So for me, that's the number one moment of the decade in terms of everything. I don't really care about the decision. I think, people gonna look back on the decision and say whatever they want to about it. I just think that it's just entertainment, and if you like entertainment, then that's just what it is. You can't. It's not entertaining to watch, the guy that you think is the best player in the NBA or has the potential to be the next best player or is on the cusp of being the best player or was the best player in the NBA the season prior to, getting hurt, in the playoffs. What was it? It's game one, right?
You talking about?
In the playoffs when they got hurt, when Derrick Rose got hurt. It was like game one. Yeah, seeing him get hurt in game one in the playoffs of a blowout game. If it was a 2-point game, a 1-point game, it's a different dynamic.
What were they up, about 15?
It doesn't matter how much they were up. It was a blowout game.
I'm just saying,
it doesn't matter. It was a blowout game. And he shouldn't have been on the floor. It's a lot of times when I see certain guys on the floor today in games, I'm like, why is this player on the floor? It's 3 minutes left and y'all at 15. If your team can't close out at up 15, you got to do a better job at coaching. And Tibbs in those years could have done a better job at coaching, because part of coaching is knowing when to push and when to pull. And too much he pushed on those guys, and I think he should have did a lot less. And I think that their run would have been a lot longer if he hadn't pushed those guys as much. And not pushing them from a competitive standpoint, but in terms of from a minute standpoint, a personnel standpoint, and building and constructing the team the way that they did. Because they constructed the team around his defense. Because that's the kind of personnel, yes, it did. But it wound up hurting them in the end, because when you construct your team around defense, rather than going out and trying to find a few more offensive-minded players, you put the burden and the pressure on a young guy like Derrick Rose, who is from Chicago, from the city, is the MVP, and has to show up every single night and do it. So even if when he was younger, when he might have been wanting to play through knick-knack injuries, I think towards ACL, he was like, I'm not doing it no more. I'm coming back when I feel good. But I'm sure before then, the story, even his mom, him breaking his hand and going to the park when he was a kid. That's the kind of player he is. And Tibbs, push. Even with Luol Deng's spine injury, I feel like a lot of that could have been handled differently. And I'm not going to blame the Bulls organization for him tearing his ACL. I don't think that, that is what it is. But I do think that they could have potentially put a better situation around Derrick Rose to be able to allow him to be able to sustain his health. And I think that they saw money and they saw win now. And I'm cool with you seeing money and seeing win now. But you also got to think about the future, and I think now a lot more, especially specifically because of that injury, teams are much more precautious, including looking at a guy like Zion, who is still not back off of a meniscus injury, where if he was a 6-year vet, he probably would have been back 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean? But because he's a rookie, and you see a guy like Derrick Rose, you're not going to risk Zion. You know what I mean?
Can I please combat?
Yes, but hurry up, because I want to get to finish my top moment.
I also think that D Rose just excelled so quick that I think a lot of the Bulls are playing catch up. Like I think that the fact that he was MVP by year 3, it takes losing longer than 3 years to build a team. Like, again, they also drafted Jimmy. Like, we gotta remember, they did draft Jimmy. You think that Jimmy and D Rose is your backcourt, but I think that the whole
not
thing.
What they thought when they drafted Jimmy.
Yes, it was. You draft Jimmy. How do you know that?
I don't know who was thinking that.
How do you know
Nobody
that?
was thinking about Jimmy Butler.
Listen.
Thinking maybe he could be decent playing defense off the bench.
No, you draft Jimmy thinking eventually we can groom this guy and he can be our starting 2 guard. You can groom him. You can be our starting 2 guard. The Bulls. If you pick somebody, you got plans for him.
I've been a Bulls fan my whole life, G. When we drafted Jimmy Butler, we weren't looking at that man as nothing other.
How do you know what the organization was looking at? I'm just saying this. D Rose excelled so quick that I think a lot of it the Bulls were playing catch up. Because usually, for the most part, you don't get a guy that good in year 3. And it takes time to build a team. So, yes, I agree with you. They didn't really surround him with that much offensive help. But I think that they tried. They tried. They tried
when you signed to Keith Bogans.
No, look,
same way the Oklahoma City Thunder. Same way the Oklahoma City Thunder didn't try to help Kevin Durant out with more offense by continuing year after year to come back with Andre Roberson as your starting shooting guard.
They did get Oladipo. I just want to say that they did go get Oladipo on draft night because they realized that.
But by that time, I don't give a damn about Oladipo. I've been here losing for the past damn half a decade.
Let me also combat that. They had Kevin Martin. They had Jeremy. That's offense. Is he not a shooter? Is he not a shooter? And I think he averaged close to 20 one of them years in OKC
Minnesota
as well. No, in OKC as well. I think he averaged close to 20 in one of those years. The thing I'm just saying about D Rose is I think that he peaked so fast. The organization was playing a lot of catch up because oh shit, we really good. We can win now. And I think they did try to find they brought in Rip, but by then it was a little bit too late. But they did bring in Rip.
He played in OKC 1 year and averaged 14. Stop the cap.
14, 15 is decent.
G, that's not 20.
That's decent though.
G, that's 20.
But listen, bro, you still.
G, is that 20?
But listen, bro, how you gonna have 3 people averaging 3 or 4 people averaging 20 points? G. You had Russ out there still giving you probably 24 a game.
All right, G.
That's offense.
All right, G. That's not 20, G. But
I understand that.
Kevin Martin fall off was so crazy.
Kevin Martin fall off was wild as fuck. But I'm just saying
his career average 17.
Yeah, because he fell off quick as hell. But I'm just saying I just think the Bulls tried. But
that man look like Adam Sandler.
But go ahead.
anyways, next moment of the decade, I'm going to actually go with the Warriors losing to the Cavs. I think that other than Derrick Rose getting hurt, is the biggest moment of the entire, the entire week, the build up to it all. Watching ESPN every day, First Take, seeing Skip and Stephen A. and all these guys kind of go at it. That was kind of before the entire kind of sports media world kind of got divided by like Fox Sports 1. So like if you was watching kind of debate shows, you was watching Colin Cowherd on ESPN, you was watching Skip Bayless on ESPN, you was watching Rob Parker on ESPN, all of these all these guys were on ESPN.
Yeah, all on ESPN.
And back then, during that point in time, the machine was churning. So instead of it being like FS1 and ESPN, imagine all those same guys just going from one station. And they talking about like, before it went from being like, the BPI says the Cavs have whatever shot to win the series. And then it's like, they would sneak a game. Like, all right, cool, we good, whatever, fuck. And then Draymond go out and get suspended. It's like, this man across the street waiting for a parade after the game in case they win. Like, if you just wouldn't have tapped him in the nuts, you would have been on the floor. And then they lose. And then game 7. And like I say, when LeBron gets to the free throw line, Warriors fans, myself included, our hearts have to go. Game, the motherfucking halftime came, we like JR started, right before halftime, JR hit the threes, like, we come out, ain't nobody got no energy, like, shit. And then the motherfucking block happened, 3 happened, that was all she wrote. I will never forget that at all. It sucks that children won't be able to experience that.
I've never been that happy watching sports before.
But that was a great moment. The Warriors beating LeBron the first year was a great moment for me as well.
That shit was trash.
The Heat losing in 2011, even though Dwayne Wade is my favorite player.
I forgot about that. Oh my god! I don't know how I forgot about that.
When LeBron went to the Heat and Chris Bosh went to the Heat, I was anti D Wade. I was anti the Heat. And don't get me wrong, the Heat, the Bulls, and the Suns were my favorite. Heat, the Bulls, Suns, and the Warriors, my favorite teams to watch in the 2000s because I love D Wade, I love Steve Nash, I love the Bulls, and like I was all on there. Once LeBron went to the Heat, I was anti the Heat. I didn't want them to win shit because I didn't want LeBron to win shit. I don't want him to win shit. Yo. And if he did win shit, I wanted D-Wade to be Finals MVP. I guarantee you, back then I was probably saying D-Wade Finals MVP. And he was probably like, hell no. He ain't playing it well. I don't care. I didn't want LeBron to win Finals MVP. And then when they lost, God.
That had never been, that slander lasted for 2 weeks, G.
No, the 3-1 slander was
No, it wasn't like that, G. It was different, G. That slander wasn't, it was like everybody was unified. It was like everybody was unified in the Twitter space. Like, that meant that, they had the trophy in the urinal, G. They had the trophy at Club Live, G. That has never been a celebration.
Dirk with the
that has never been, nobody celebrated a ring like the way the 2011 Mavericks celebrated a ring.
Yeah, I agree. But anyways, let's go ahead. Let's move on. Let's talk this current season. Obviously, we're heading into a new decade. So the Lakers, as they go ahead and they move into this new decade, they're coming off a great, win versus the Mavericks as well as versus the Blazers. They lost Christmas Day to the Los Angeles Clippers. And they pretty much, came back and was able to end the year off strong, to be quite honest, after, kind of floundering out. And even, to end the month, I said they were going to go 7-7. They wound up, I believe, going 9-5 or 9-5 or something like that. And they still hold the best record in the Western Conference by technically 2.5 games over the Nuggets. So as we move into the new year, the Lakers are obviously looking championship or bust for them. They want to get there. I think they can get there. LeBron and AD seem to have the camaraderie going.
As long as they put the Clippers, they can get there.
What are your thoughts on the Lakers as we move forward in this new year? Bron, he's reportedly he is not as healthy as he should be. His groin is messed up and his shoulder's messed up. Elbow, groin, whatever. What do you think about LeBron? And I don't say quotations in saying he's not hurt, but I also think that LeBron is. I do think that some of this stuff is part of his is a slight embellishment of just because I know LeBron really wants that MVP. And I think when you see Giannis and
he's not getting that MVP.
Yeah, but if you LeBron, I can get it though.
Like my dog Glasses said.
No, for real. If everybody think I'm hurt, I can get it though.
Like my dog Glass
said,
said,
get it though.
Yo, shout out to Glass Malone. We was like talking the other day, and like bro was like, yeah, you know, Bron really want the MVP, but he ain't realized he ain't gonna win it yet. He not gonna win it. So I don't know if Bron realizes yet he's not gonna win MVP. There's nothing he can do to make himself win MVP. Like literally nothing, unless Giannis falls off a fucking cliff. Like literally, unless he falls off a fucking, there's nothing he can do to win MVP. First of all, AD cut into his votes. Number one, that's the man on your team cutting into your votes.
AD's averaging more points, more rebounds,
I'm just saying,
more
like,
blocks.
He's cutting into your votes. There's nothing on planet Earth LeBron James can do to win MVP. Now he may not realize that yet, but it's not gonna happen. Yeah. But as far as the Lakers, I mean, I'm not worried. I mean, even when they were losing games, for one, I mean, Bron didn't play one game, AD didn't play one game. I actually thought they would lose 6 straight. I thought they would lose to who was it? I thought Bron wasn't gonna play in Portland, and I thought that they would lose to Portland. And I actually thought that they would have lost to the Mavericks last night, but obviously Tim Hardaway ended up getting hurt. I think Luka went out the game for like a quick second. Yeah. But like I'm not worried. The two things that do worry me is again Avery Bradley's not necessarily his 3-point shooting, but his corner 3-point shooting. I looked it up. Not great. I don't know if it's still the same. I looked it up like 2 days ago. He's shooting 18% from the corners. 18%.
Where do you find this data?
Just go on Basketball Reference and then like go on like shots and then like go scroll over.
Oh, okay.
And you can like see how many percentage of corner threes he's taking. I think he's taking like don't quote me on this. I may be wrong. I think he may be taking like 40-something% of his threes from the corner and shooting 18% on them. So like scroll down. You can go shooting and you scroll over. You see corners. So he's taking 47% of his threes in the corner and shooting 16%. For his career, he takes 41% of his threes from the corner and shooting 37%. That's an issue. He can't shoot like that from the corner. I think KCP has been the best Lakers guard all season, including Danny Green. I think arguably,
I told you Danny Green wasn't gonna be that good, but I just want to.
I'm just saying. Now look. So look, I'm not that worried about the Lakers. Kuzma at least looked good on Christmas, but I still think Kuzma's been a little bit too inconsistent. Even like the drama with his training and stuff like that. Like I think what we got to remember is people are their own man. Like Kuzma can't really control what that man trainer say. Like granted, it's Christmas night. Maybe he was watching the game with his family, drinking a little something. Let off some tweets fly without really thinking. You know, I think that some people think everybody does things so calculatedly. Yeah. Maybe the man was just drinking and just tweeting something. Maybe it wasn't even that deep.
Post on Instagram, but I feel
no, but I think people think everything is so calculated. Sometimes people just have stupid moments, bro. Yeah. So they just do like stupid, like they just do stupid shit. Like that. Maybe that's what he did. Maybe so he can't control that. But again, I think they'll be fine. I think that for them, they just have to avoid the Clippers. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's any way on the planet of Earth they can beat the Clippers. One, I don't even think LeBron will have it. I think everybody was like, oh, look at LeBron. He's not going at them. I'm like, bro, he got like 3-4 bodies being thrown at him that are all capable defenders. Yeah. Like he can't just that's not gonna work against them. Now, I think that the Clippers are some teams that they might want to avoid, or they might end up losing, or that they gotta watch out for. But I think the Lakers, which is what I think that when you look at it, you think Lakers Clippers conference finals. If that happens, then I don't think there's any way the Lakers can win that matchup. Again, I just think that the Clippers have one too many bodies to throw at LeBron. But I'm not worried about them. I still think that they're top 3 team in the West, top 4 team in the league. Again, I'm not worried about them. I'm just hopefully they stay healthy. Obviously, I think health could derail them, but hopefully they stay healthy. And Avery Bradley has got to shoot better. Like that's the one thing. Like 18% from the corners, I can't have that. And Danny Green got to be better too as well.
Yeah, for me, I mean, they are who I thought they were. I told Lakers fans I wasn't going to slander them anymore for the rest of the year, so because it's technically still this year, I won't slander them going into the new year. But I do think that, as I said before, my rant, and shout out to everybody, shout out to all of y'all. Y'all went crazy watching that, that full post game, as well as my rant on the Lakers. And his roster. I've told you all many a times before, and this is not slander. As I've told you many a times before, it's just me analyzing basketball. This roster is not a championship caliber roster. It is a Western Conference Finals second round roster. And I think that if you want to make the finals, I think that looking to move a guy like a Danny Green who has a movable contract, and looking to move a guy like Avery Bradley, I think that as long as you don't disrupt the core of LeBron, AD, Dwight, and JaVale.
And honestly, KCP, man.
No. I think I'm not upset. I'm not upset at anybody who says KCP is untradeable right now.
I think he is.
I do think he is tradable, depending on the right fit. I've said it on after that, after the game. I said that DJ Augustine is a guy that they can go out and get and give up like Avery Bradley and Quinn Cook for, and be able to get DJ Augustine.
I don't know if DJ Augustine though.
Maybe if you give up a pick in the future, like a second round pick or something. A second round pick, Quinn Cook and Avery Bradley, I think it can get you DJ Augustine, because I think Orlando's kind of I feel like they're shifting more towards Markelle, and I think that DJ Augustine is a good guy, but at this point in time, for the salary he's commands, you can and honestly, if you want to do, you can low key try to see if you can do a dump for where you could see if you could try to get rid of Danny Green and Avery Bradley, and see if you can maybe get Fournier, DJ Augustine, and something like that. I said Schroeder as well from OKC, but it depends if OKC is gonna make the playoffs. Which if I'm them, I want to make the playoffs because we need playoff revenue. Because we in luxury. They've been in luxury tax hell anyway, so they need to recoup on some of that money. So if I'm them, I don't know if I'm selling on Schroeder. I might sell on Adams, but it depends on what I get back from Adams. Because if I'm them, I really don't want to miss the playoffs. Like, I kind of feel like if I'm OKC, what's the point of us missing the playoffs?
No point. They got mad picks over the next couple of years.
Exactly. So if I'm them, I'm not missing the playoffs. I'm looking to make the playoffs. So I'm not going to give up Schroeder, but I do think that the Lakers are 2 or 3 pieces away from winning the championship. I think the Clippers are cohesion away from winning the championship, and that's the big difference. One team can find cohesion, the other team you can't find a roster in the middle of the playoffs.
See, I don't.
And that's all I've been saying. That's all I've been saying. It's not slander. It's just this is just not a championship roster.
See,
you don't have any guys that are playmakers other than LeBron James that can score and get their own shot at will. Kyle Kuzma is that way, but some games he'll give you 0 points or 6 points or 10 points. Some games it'll be 24. Some games it'll be 20. They need somebody else. Also, I don't know if Kuzma is a guy that if somebody want to trade for him and give me something valuable, I'm not upset with that. Even if Detroit is looking to sell on a guy like Derrick Rose, I might trade for him too. The Lakers could use him. Just saying.
I don't necessarily think the roster is a huge issue with the Lakers. I just think that the people on the roster just actually need to play better. And then again, the guy like Avery Bradley, the one thing I will cut him slack because he has been hurt. He did have a fracture in his leg or whatever, so he has been hurt. He is coming off injury. I think Danny Green just needs to play better. But my thing is just, I've been saying Kuzma. I think Kuzma was the key to this team all along, and Kuzma has not been holding up his end of the bargain so far. I will say this about Kuzma though: the Lakers sometimes don't run plays for him, and they need to do a better job of getting him involved every single game, and like just taking time out to make sure they run some plays specifically to get Kuzma a bucket. Mm-hmm. I think the only time you really saw that was on Christmas. I think on Christmas, Kuzma really took it upon himself to get buckets, but also I think they took it upon themselves to actually get Kuzma the ball and try to get him some buckets as well. But also, I also think the main thing, the other thing with the Lakers team is just defense. I said before the year, if they're not a top 5 defensive team, it won't work. The past couple of games, their defense slipped, and what happened? It wasn't working. When they playing defense, they good. Because they're not a team that's going to go out there and score 120 because Lakers don't have the guys to do that. But if they can hold you to around 100 or, God's sake, under 100, they got a chance. Now, granted, if you could make a move, I even think a guy like Dragic, if you could get Danny Green for like a Dragic, I don't know if that's possible. But if you could, I think that would be something dope. Because, again, I think that you would expect Danny Green to be the best guard on your team. But it's turned out to be KCP. And, like, KCP, to me, at least by a wide margin. I think he's been the best defender, and even with shooting the ball, I think he's better than Danny Green for the most part as well. And he can actually I think he's better in transition than Danny Green is. I could be wrong, but I think he's a little bit better as far as being a transition player than Danny Green is.
At this point, yes.
At this point. So again, I don't think it's so much to do with their roster. I can see that people on the roster do need to play better, but they should keep their eyes open for a move, because I would, like you said, if a D Rose, a Schroeder, you got like a Dragic, something like that. If they could go out there and get that, I think it would help their team a lot. And those guys have 1-year deals. Well, D-Rose got a 2-year deal, but his is a smaller one. Dragic is on a 1-year deal. I think Schroeder has 1 year left on his deal. These are also guys like, if it don't work out, the contract run out at the end of the year, we get AD back, we could try to sign somebody else, put him in that nucleus, and
yeah, I agree. But this roster needs work, and like I said, I'm not gonna slander him. It's not slander. It's just actual basketball analysis, as OJ says. I'm just saying. Anyways, moving on. Clippers. What are your thoughts on the LA Clippers? As we head into 2020, obviously, they beat the Lakers on Christmas. Currently, the Clippers are 9-8 at home, but they're 14-3 on the road. Very.
Wait, when you mean?
I'm sorry. I flipped that. They are 9-8 on the road and 14-3 at home. Very, very middle of the road team this year in terms of on the road. Can they win a championship with this roster? Obviously, the game versus the Lakers was the first time they had the full complement of the roster. What are your thoughts? Go ahead.
Two teams worry me for the Clippers. It's the Utah Jazz and the Houston Rockets. Everybody else don't care. They'll be fine. They'll run over. But the Jazz and the Rockets worry me. For one, I think the Rockets are so perimeter-oriented and that they isolate one-on-one so much. And the Clippers foul a lot. They foul a lot. Like, every time that they play the Rockets, they end up in foul trouble. For like, Bev don't never finish the game. Like, PG be picking up fouls. They end up in foul trouble a lot. And when you get EG back, you're talking about you got 3 guards who can all, for one, get to the line, draw fouls, and EG's historically been a good shooter. He can also get that straight line drive and go to the rim. Russ, as long as he doesn't play faster than his mind is thinking, can at least get to the rim, do some things. You stretch people out with PJ. And again, to me this year, I haven't really seen anybody on the Clippers have success one-on-one with Harden. At least when Harden is able to re-isolate and get back, they'll double him. But I think even doubling becomes harder when you add EG back into the mix. And when he gets those re-isolation situations, it seems like on the perimeter, it doesn't really seem like, I don't think anybody, it seems like has been able to stick with them. And the Jazz, for some weird reason, I just think really adding Jordan Clarkson into this team makes them, like, if they can get Conley back, and Conley can actually get there and stay healthy and start to play better, because he wasn't playing that good when he was there, but he can start to play better and really just take some of the playmaking responsibility off Donovan Mitchell. Like, the other night when I was at the game, Donovan did have like 8-9 assists, but it's just like sometimes it's like, I don't need you to be trying to make it and play for everybody else. Yeah. He would I think he had like 4 random turnovers in like the first quarter, just like you need a little bit less playmaking responsibility. I think Donovan is the point guard of the future for the Jazz, but the future ain't right now. I think
he's a point guard of the future.
I
don't see a point in it. I think a year ago I would have told you that he should probably play point guard, because I didn't see what I needed to see from him in terms of his game offensively from the mid range. The overall touch. And it's not saying that he never had touch or never had mid range. It's just a different level of a package. Like even D Rose has got a different level package, and Donovan came back this year with a different level package. You know what I mean? Like it's like when you in 2K. And you got the tier 1 badges for the whole first season, and then you go over and you come back with the silver joints. Your points per game jump, you look a whole different way. So it's not, actually this was going to be named this. Donovan Mitchell came back with the silver badge.
But no.
For real. He came back with the silver badge. So I feel like, he leave him at shooting guard. But the thing about it is, if you're going to leave him at shooting guard, you either need to pair him with a completely defensive combo like playmaker, like a Rubio, or you need to pair him with a guy that's offensively dynamic.
And that's what Conley
I actually think that the point guard of this future, if Mike Conley can't play well, can be Jordan Clarkson. I think he's a guy, and I know this is what I'm saying. You can run a hybrid system like you do with Dame and CJ, where really you can let Donovan be the shooting guard. But just put Clarkson at the point guard. I think that if you look at Clarkson's trajectory to me doesn't traject as a 6th man. He's always outplayed that role, which is the reason why he always bounces around, because there's never been a fit for him, because usually you're looking at another player saying, I want that guy to be my point guard or my shooting guard, and then you looking at him and you say, I like him, he can come in and give me buckets, but can he start for me? I think in this offense and on this team, if he can come in and play defense and prove himself, I don't look at Conley as being a guy that's going to be a long-term fit for them. I see them dumping his salary either this summer or next summer, because I don't think he's going to be that good. I don't think he's going to be that healthy. And I didn't think this team was a threat before the season, but I didn't think Donovan Mitchell was going to get his silver badges. I didn't foresee Bogdanovich being a guy that on any given night can step up and grab his balls and look at the other person on the team and say, hey, my ball's as big as yours. I didn't foresee that. I like Bogdanovich. I like Ingles. And, man, shout out to Joe Ingles. He be putting this man PG in a rage cage. Joe Ingles be putting PG in a rage cage.
It's something about when Joe Ingles...
putting that man in a rage cage.
It's something about when Joe Ingles see this man PG. This man Joe Ingles might not move for 10 games. He see PG and just find another level.
Barbecue chicken.
And Joe Ingles... I would hate to play against Joe Ingles because I know he talk mad shit. I know he talked mad
And he
shit.
from Australia?
Yes, he talked mad shit with an Australian accent.
All right, Mike.
So I know he talked just like that and he's hella fucking annoying.
You gonna call me on that play, Mike? You like
see, shut the fuck up, bro.
I just hit another one, Mike.
But nah. I know you probably say shit like that, but no, I'm telling you.
So like for the Clippers, I think that's the only problem is I don't think that they have anybody that can guard Donovan. I think PG is built. I think Pat Bev is too small to deal with Donovan's physical nature. Landry is not seasoned enough, and PG is too big, but not small enough to stay with Donovan. So
and also with the Clippers, they have a lot of passionate guys, which works sometimes, and the other side I think hurts to their detriment. Like even a guy like Pat, he plays very, very passionately, but with playing passionately, you pick up foul that you don't need to pick up.
Yeah, he talked about that when you filmed the post game. Yeah. He said I tried to play with the same amount of passion, but focusing more of my energy on the game as opposed to I feel like that's what he said. It was opposed to the extra stuff or focusing on the ref. I feel like that's what he said. You filmed it. I'm just saying. Damn,
Pat said that?
I feel like Patrick Beverly after the last game. So, a reporter asked him. My bad. That definitely fell off.
I didn't talk to Pat.
No, you didn't talk to him. I said a reporter. You filmed it though. Okay. You filmed it, and a reporter asked him. He said, "Well, I just tried to put my energy in this game more into the game as opposed to like trying to take it out on the refs because sometimes we can get a little too." Amped up, basically, is what I feel like is what he said. I might have to go back and watch it. Regardless,
I'm telling you, like Clarkson, like I watched a lot of Clarkson in Cleveland. Clarkson, we got to fit. Remember, Clarkson's been to the finals,
and he was a matchup nightmare the other night versus the Clippers.
He was. No, Clarkson has been to the finals, and I remember in that finals, Clarkson stepped in and wasn't scared. He was going at stuff. Now he might have been missing the fuck out themselves, but like he was going at him. Yeah. That showed me something. Like, look, I would rather you shoot 100 times and miss than you just get out there and don't shoot the ball at all. At least I know when I put Clarkson on the court, he could do one thing: score. Which is why I would rather Clarkson come out the bench. I personally see Clarkson as the next Jamal Crawford, the next Lou Will, that type of guy. The guy who come in off the bench, fill it up for a little while, and go sit back down. Personally,
I think it depends on the development of his game. I still think he's a fairly young player.
That's fair.
I think he won a 3-year college player, correct?
I probably was.
Was he? Let me see.
Probably was.
He went
to Missouri.
But
was.
in a series,
that's
how many games you taking? Clippers, Utah Jazz. How many games?
I think it could go 6 either way. I don't see it going 7, but if it goes 7, then I would get an edge to the Clippers because they got a guy named Kawhi Leonard on their squad, and I think that in the game 7, I would trust Kawhi Leonard over anybody else to figure it out and get it done.
He was a 4-year college.
Exactly.
He went Tulsa from 2010 to 2012, and then he went to Missouri.
So how old is he?
2013 to 2014. He is 27 right now.
Yeah, like at this point, he's kind of like.
Yeah, he kind of is who he is.
Kind of is who he is, but he has a game where he can play 7 more years at the same level that he's playing at right now. And again, like these 6 men I'm talking about usually start excelling around 28, 20. Like Lou Will, 33. So to me, I think that he's the next guy in line for that kind of role. But in a series between Clippers and Jazz, I think it could go 6 games either way. Either way in those 6 games, I think it could be Jazz in 6 or it could be Clippers in 6. Either way, but I think just because it went 6 doesn't mean that the other team didn't have a chance to win. I think it could be a thing where it's like 1 or 2 plays down the stretch just lost you those games. So I think the Clippers are fine against anybody else. Lakers, I think they could beat the Lakers in 6, and I'm saying 6 to give respect to LeBron. I really think they could beat them in 5. Not even joking. I think they could beat them in 5. The Mavericks, don't worry me. They could probably beat them in 5. I think they could beat anybody else. But when it comes to the Jazz and the Rockets, I'm telling you right now, those are two teams I think the Clippers not should try to stay away from, but should be weary about playing in the playoffs.
I feel you. So let's move on. Specifically talking about the Jazz. What are your thoughts on the Jazz and their potential in the playoffs? I mean, obviously, I set Twitter on fire when I said that they weren't going to make the playoffs. It looks at this point like they probably will, but I'm still holding out on my hot take until the end of the year.
They're not going to. They're going to make the playoffs.
We'll see. Oh yeah, shout out to. And I'm glad that they're embracing Jordan Clarkson. Actually, as we recording this, the Jazz just beat the Pistons, and Donovan Mitchell and the guys just came and doused Jordan Clarkson with water and Gatorade because he had a great game. So, what are your thoughts on the Jazz overall as a whole? Who can they beat and who can they not beat in the Western Conference?
I will say this about Clarkson. I remember I was watching an interview that talked about Byron Scott. When he was talking about how Kobe would come in and work, and like a lot of the guys wouldn't come in and work. He said the only guy who would come in and like when Kobe was there was Jordan Clarkson. And even I remember I was at the game the other day. Jordan Clarkson pregame workout was about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Like usually, most players come out, get in a good 20 minutes worth of shots, go back in the locker room. Clarkson was out there for 30 minutes. getting work in. If not getting work in, talking to one of the trainers, just on the court for 30 minutes getting work in. You see guys like Harden doing that. You see guys like Kawhi doing that. PG will do that. So he puts in the work and at least from what I see, I can tell that Byron Scott wasn't lying when he said that, he was the one guy that was there with Kobe. Getting there and working out. But the Jazz, I got to see more of them as a full team. Like I would like to see what they look like when Conley comes back as well. But I don't know about Western Conference Finals, like maybe depending upon matchup, but I think they can make it very, very tough for some team in like the second round. I think the second round probably is something that they probably will get to. I don't think that they could beat the team like a Lakers. I don't think they could. I think they could make it really tough on the Rockets. I don't know if they beat them, but I think that they can make it really, really tough on the Rockets. The Clippers again, that's a team that I think that they will be a good matchup for them. The Mavericks.
They're gonna beat them. Luka's gonna beat them. But okay.
The Mavericks.
I'm not gonna get upset.
See, with the Mavericks, like their offense is so high powered, but their defense is good at times. I think it still needs to improve, but I think the Clarkson addition makes the Jazz offense better, and I think that if Conley can get back and be healthy, and they do have guys to throw at Luka at least. Like, they can at least put a Bogdanovich on a Luka, and at least he has a size to be able to compete with Luka. Now, obviously, I think Luka is more crafty and foot speed, but at least have the size. And I think that what most teams, where they make the mistake with Luka is they end up putting guards on him, man. It's like, bro, this man is 6'8", G. He
LeBron can't guard Luka either.
LeBron is 30. Bro, this man is 6'8", G. He
LeBron can't guard Luka either.
LeBron is 30. Like Bron is at this point 35 years old. I'm just saying, like Bron's 35 years old at this point. Like, can he get him on a couple possessions? Yes, he can. Is he gonna be out here strapping the man down the whole game? No, he's not. But the Mavericks, I would have to see that matchup. But I think the Jazz look good, man. Like, literally, I went to that game the other day and the Jazz genuinely impressed me. They genuinely impressed me with how they played basketball in that game. So this is a team that I wasn't watching much of in 2019. Didn't really interest me. But now with the Clarkson edition, I'll actually be watching a lot more Utah Jazz basketball.
Cool. I think the Jazz, we'll see what happens. I'm sticking with my pick that they won't make the playoffs. I think this West is still loaded. And this next guy, it's not loaded, but it's not loaded, but it's also not as far out of reach as everybody thought it was a little while ago, including this team, the Pelicans. What are your thoughts on the Pelicans? Zion is probably going to come back after the new year, obviously. So he's going to play this year. It looks like he is. They've been trying to retrain him on his running mechanics and his jumping mechanics so that way he can, be able to land and be able to put less stress on his knees and his meniscus with his weight. All the jokes about calling him Zatarain, Zion, and all that. Actually, I just made that up.
Zatarain.
I just made that up. I won't even lie. I just made that up.
Zatarain.
I won't lie. I just made that up. I was trying to think of something people said, but I just thought of this.
Zatarain. Oh shit. Zatarain. Gee, I'm dead. Yo, that's it. Zatarain. Saturday. I'm fucking screaming. Saturday. Oh my God.
There's a lot of talk around Zion.
Saturday. I've never heard nobody. I don't think I ever heard that, bro. I don't think I ever heard nobody say Saturday. Sound like something Damian would say, but I'm like, I don't think I heard Damian say that. G. Saturday.
But you know what I mean. So, what are your thoughts on the Pelicans? They are currently not really out of the playoff picture. I told you this.
Okay, you're
right.
You
told me they would be 2 games better.
But also
2 to 3 games better makes them the AFC right now.
That's fair. Okay. I'll give you that one. You was right. But also,
say it again.
You was right.
Say it again.
You was right. But but I think this is more the Pelicans team. They got healthy. For one, they finally just got healthy. Like, Lonzo was hurt. Favors was, his mom died. Condolences to Favors, but he's finally back on the court. Lonzo played one of his best games in fucking 2 years the other day.
Even though Harden and Russ
ain't played. Capella ain't played, but it don't matter. He's still, like, in the fourth quarter, control the game. Like, the Rockets were up 10. And Lonzo came on, controlled the games when Etuamo started killing. So, they went on the court, but Lonzo legit controlled the game. He ain't played that good, like, literally since his rookie season. But no, I think they just finally got healthy. I think they had a top over the past 5 games. They've had a top 10 defense. So they're finally playing defense like the team I thought that they would play defense like when I looked at the roster when I looked at the roster before the season started. And no, I mean they got a shot. Like I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, but they got a realistic shot. Like if everybody can stay healthy and they can keep going on this streak, they got a realistic shot.
Yeah. I mean, Lonzo this year has not been great, but he hasn't been bad either. I mean, he's still giving you 10.8 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 1.2 steals. He's shooting 38.3% from the field goal range, but he's shooting 36% from the three-point line, which is a career best for him.
The thing that impressed me yesterday was like the man was dribbling.
He's still shooting 50% from the free throw line,
which sucks. But the thing that impressed me yesterday was like the man was. I ain't seen him put the ball. I ain't seen him put the ball through his legs that much ever in my life. Ball was going through the legs. He dribbling, going to the land. Like, when the fuck you get ISO motion moves, Lonzo? When the hell you get this?
Well, you would never seen him with Luke Walton.
But to me, I just think I think he's finally healthy. Number one.
Also, the Warriors are not at the playoffs either. You know that, right?
Huh?
The Warriors aren't at the playoffs.
I know.
We're still only 5.5 back. Yeah, don't man look.
Like they're
don't
not out. Listen,
let it happen.
Listen,
don't let it be Warriors Lakers first round because you already know who my money on.
They lose, as in the Warriors.
You know Clay coming back for that.
So,
that man been out there. Did you see that?
Yeah,
this man Clay been out there in his goddamn
Warriors
jersey.
uniform, shoot them shots
with Zaza.
Like Clay. What the look? I will say this: for as much as I hate the Warriors, Clay is a cool human being. I would actually go get a drink from Clay.
Yeah.
I actually look. As much as I hate the Warriors, I still do not enjoy watching Steph Curry play basketball. But Clay, my man, I rock with Clay. G. Clay is hilarious, dog. Clay is legit. He just be with his girl and play basketball and be with his dog. Clay is hilarious.
And smoke weed.
Allegedly. Why are you Clay? Why are you in your whole Warriors jersey, fucking shooting them shots with a headband on a training facility with Zaza? That is hilarious to me.
The funniest part is Zaza doing the bounce pass between the legs.
Between the legs. Like, what the hell?
Like,
Clay
just old time.
Clay up there pulling up like she get the fuck out of here.
But it also tells me Clay is probably gonna come back for it this year.
Depends.
Nah, I don't think it really depends. I think if Steph Curry, if they really tell him, if they saying Steph gonna be out in February, which I really think he'll come back in like 3 weeks, because I think he actually 2 weeks, because I think he won a All-Star vote stopping with January 25th.
Yeah, but he can still make the All-Star team though.
Nah,
they gonna vote that man in the damn All-Star game.
He's not gonna be an All-Star this year. I don't think he will be. But I think if he comes back around like 17, maybe get like 2-3 games in, coaches might be like, whatever, like he was hurt, but like he's still an All-Star. We putting Steph in the All-Star game. But if he don't play before the cutoff day, he's not gonna be an All-Star.
But
which is gonna be tragic for him, because this was supposed to be a year in which I thought he was gonna try to reclaim his MVP throne, and then
it's never happening again. He's not winning no more MVP.
It's gonna happen next year.
No, he's not.
It's gonna happen next year.
No, he's not.
It's gonna happen next year.
Here's why. He's not gonna put up the numbers like with the shit that other people are doing now. You got Luka out here averaging damn near triple-double. Giannis out here. He's never gonna be able to put up the numbers at this point in his career to be able to go out there and win another MVP. The numbers people putting up now are outrageous, bro. He gonna have to average 40. Damn near. And he's not gonna average damn near 40. Luka's probably going to win MVP next year if he stays alive. As long as nothing happens to him, he's probably going to win MVP next year.
Chris don't try to take him out.
He's probably going to win MVP next year. He's already a media darling, and the numbers he's putting up are legit insane.
Yeah, even Pop compared him to Larry Bird.
I mean, that's not a horrible comparison.
Huh?
It's not a horrible comparison.
No, that's not the point. You know how good you got to be for Pop to be comparing you to Greg Popovich, the most winning coach in
He's good. The man good, G. He good, bro.
Oh, God!
He not gonna win MVP this year because I think the Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr., I think he pulled his hamstring or something like that last night. Yeah, so he gonna be out for a second. I think they're gonna start losing a couple games. The record not gonna be the same as there, and also
he wasn't even playing that good when they was winning early.
That's not early in the season, but he came strong as hell the past 20 of them.
But Luka's back.
Yes,
my son is back.
Yes, but he not gonna win it this year. He might finish runner-up, but he not going this year. Now, next year when they get some more guys, build a team up, they maybe be top 4 in the West. I think next year would be his year to win it. I think this year like his runner-up year. and next year will probably be his year to go out there and try
unless
to
they
win.
finish with a top 2 seed.
They're not gonna finish with a top 2 seed. I don't think they're gonna finish with a top 2
They can.
seed.
In this Western Conference, they can.
And even still, he shouldn't get that shit over Giannis. Yeah. Like, there's no point he should get it over Giannis.
I don't want to hear this. Now you didn't turn heel. All of a sudden, now you're a Giannis fan.
I'm not really a Giannis fan. I'm just being honest. Have you seen the man this year? And they still win it. People be hurt and they don't be losing, bro.
That's a team. Giannis was hurt too. He was out 2 games.
Okay.
And they won. Just saying.
He on the team. He on the team.
I mean, so what?
I mean, shit. The fucking who did Dallas beat without Luka?
I'm just saying.
The Bucks.
Same,
they beat the Bucks without Luka.
Same thing.
Giannis gonna get that award, G.
It's between Giannis and Luka.
That's fair, but Giannis.
LeBron, you might as well let that one go.
Also, don't sleep on Harden. He's not gonna win it, but he could. But he could be the runner-up. MVP. He could be. He's not gonna win it, but he could be the runner-up.
He's not gonna be runner-up.
He could.
The only way Harden can win MVP or runner-up is for the Rockets to win 20 games in a row in the second half of the season, and the Rockets had a number 1 record overall in the league, and for Harden to average 40. It's not happening. If that happened, I will get on the air with a Harden jersey on and literally sit here and hold a Harden cutout for the whole show and do the whole show like this with the Harden cutout in my hand. Because it ain't fucking happening.
Listen. I think if the Rockets, which I think they could get the 2nd seed at least. I'm not gonna say win the West, but I think they could at least get the 2nd seed if they can stay healthy throughout the rest of the season. I think the Rockets about to hit their stride. I really do.
All right, we'll see. Any final words for the year? For the decade? What are your? Yeah, we did Hoops and Brews. We move into a new decade of Hoops and Brews. I didn't think we would make it past episode 12.
Shout out all the fans for keeping us going. The fact that y'all watch it makes us want to show up every week. And I'm looking forward to see what 2020 has. I want to be who will be the first NBA champions of 2020. Because you can't say the Warriors no more.
Depending on who make it to the playoffs.
Give me a team.
It depends on who make it to the playoffs.
Give me a team.
If the Warriors make it to the playoffs with the AC, we going to the championship.
Okay.
We going to the championship, and y'all gonna be mad.
No, they're not.
I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad because Clay gonna be back, Steph gonna be there, D'Lo gonna be there, Draymond gonna be there. Unless they get rid of Draymond and D'Lo for Cat, which I'm in favor of. D'Lo and Draymond for Cat and Gorgie Jane. Take Gorgie Jane's contract. It's fine. Keep that shit. It's $16 million a year. You get $9 million, I believe, in cap relief on that trade. And if you're the Timberwolves, you get 2 stars. You get to keep Andrew Wiggins, and you get Wiggins a point guard and a power forward for Wiggins to play with. And if they want Willie Cauley-Stein, take that, man. You can have him. Now y'all got a center.
The Warriors have the most terrible defenses in the league. But
it don't matter. We get into the finals. Cat, Steph, Clay. We get into the finals.
It's not necessarily a finals team.
Huh?
It's not necessarily a finals team.
In the West it is.
No, it's not.
Everybody got duos. We got a trio. We come in.
That's not necessarily
if the Warriors make the playoffs this year, we're going to the finals.
No, they're not.
We are. Because we're going to play the Clippers or the Lakers in the first round. We're going to beat the shit out of one of them in the first round.
They're not.
We're going to beat the shit out of one of them in the first round.
No, they're not.
If the Warriors play the Lakers or the Clippers, I'm telling you this in 2019, in the first round, they're going to beat the shit out of them if Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are healthy. Remember I said
it's going to be a decent series, but they're not going to beat them.
If Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are healthy,
they're not going to beat them.
If Steph Curry and Klay Thompson on the floor with Draymond Green, and let's say they don't even trade for Cat.
No.
So Steph Curry, D'Lo, Clay, and Draymond.
Clay not finna come off of ACL and play like he never had the ACL.
You don't have to. He can just give me 16 a game.
But what about the defense?
Why you keep mentioning the defense?
I'm just saying. G. Every year,
nobody in the NBA is playing defense other than the Lakers and the Bucks.
And that's not exactly true. He play good, pretty good damn defense.
The Raptors play more offense than they play defense.
The Heat have a damn good defensive team.
I didn't say they got a bad defensive team.
They be fucking running
down.
The Raptors
not making the finals.
I don't know about that.
Alright.
I wouldn't pick them to go, but I lead if the Raptors get healthy, I don't know about that. The Raptors got a damn good team too.
You're doing good though.
I would look.
Last one of the year.
I wouldn't pick
last one of this decade.
I wouldn't pick them. I would not pick them. But the Raptors still got a damn good team, bro.
All right, man. Any final words?
No.
All right, Hoops and Brews fans, man. It's been a great decade. Shout out to y'all for taking us from irrelevance into prominence. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's been a long ride, but it's only 3 years. You know what I mean? Even if you look at guys like Stephen A. Smith, the Shannon Sharps, not Shannon Sharps, but Stephen A. Smith, the Skip Baylesses of the world. They've been doing this shit for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. I said I'm not all of them. I'm some of them. Been doing for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. So, we only at 3. We embarking on a new decade. So hopefully we can give you all 3+ more years of doing this, and hopefully be up there with those guys, because that's what makes them legends. Just longevity. That's what make you a legend, is longevity and prominence. So shout out to y'all for allowing us to be prominent, for giving us a little bit of longevity. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. You guys have allowed me to be able to have conversations with my friends now. Before we used to go out and I used to work for other people in other people's companies, they would be like, oh, well, this person, he worked with me here, or oh, he worked here, he worked there. Now, usually when I go out, and even when I did have a job and I was working at a startup or something, I'll be with my friends and be like, he's like, yo, this is my homie Thomas. He owns a sports media company. They cover the Clippers. They cover the Sparks. Like, it's cool to be able to say that now, because we started this podcast and y'all afford us this opportunity. So shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate it. I'm going to raise a glass to you all. Happy New Year. Be safe. Drive safe. I'm going to drop this tomorrow sometime around probably noon or 1, depending on if I edit it tonight. My hair will be blonde coming into the new year. I'm doing it tonight. So we'll see how that is, man. And hopefully we can continue to bring you guys amazing coverage. And hopefully we get to, be able to cover a finals run this year.
It would be great.
Which would be amazing. It would be amazing. I mean, I don't openly root for the Clippers because I don't really care if they win or not. But I would love to see a finals run. I would love to experience that firsthand, especially after being able to, cover the Sparks and kind of see them, the kind of almost leading up to the finals, and then the heartbreak. They
got smoked. That's not the definition of heartbreak.
You weren't in that locker room after the game. You were in the locker room, was you? You in the locker room after the game? I went in there. Candace Parker cried in front of my face.
You should have goddamn played better.
I agree.
I knew at practice they was losing.
I agree with you.
I knew.
That's
at
not
practice.
the point.
I didn't know.
It was still heartbreaking.
That wasn't heartbreaking.
Before the season, I would have told they was gonna get swept by the Suns in the conference finals. You would have been like, nah, G.
I don't know if I would have said.
And I said John Quill Jones turned into Akeem. You would have been like,
I probably wouldn't have disbelieved that. She had 24 rebounds the first time they played.
I said before the season.
Before the season, no, because I didn't know that much about the league.
Yeah, but she also got way better this year.
Allegedly.
You definitely about to say allegedly.
No.
Definitely about to say allegedly.
No, I was just saying, before the season, I didn't know that much about the league. I got more informed with the league as time went on. Literally, the first time they played, she gave their ass 24 boards. If you would have told me she had done it, I'd be like, oh, shit, that probably did happen. And that wasn't heartbreak. They got smoked.
It was still heartbreak.
No, they got smoked.
It was heartbreak.
It was heartbreaking.
Penny's gone. The first
like
woman in WNBA history to score a point is no longer has a job because she called her team
the N-word.
And she said, I'm sick of you niggas.
Watching that, bro, I feel it, G. I was sick of watching
Shout out to Penny Tola, man.
Yeah, man.
If you ever want to come on HoopsNBrews and air your grievances with the Sparks, you have an open opportunity and a platform to do it anytime you want to, Penny Tola. Thank you for always being kind.
She was cool as hell, too.
She was cool as hell.
Cool.
She was cool as hell.
Cool.
She said to talk with the media, the same media. I'm going to leave it at that. Y'all infer what y'all want to from that. Anyway, it's been HoopsNBrews, man. Signing out for 2019, heading into 2020. Peace out, many blessings, and hopefully we continue many great things. Shout out to all the fans. Been your boy TPJ. Find me on Twitter, Instagram at RealTPJ for the final time this decade. If you under 21 or you under 18 in Canada, you better be fucking drinking. Don't do it. It's wrong. If you live in America and you driving and you drinking, you are wrong. Don't drink and drive. Don't do it. It's wrong. Call an Uber. Drink responsibly. As always, drink in moderation. If you under 21 and you watch us, shout out to you. You better not be fucking drinking either with your friends, you little badass motherfucker. I see you out there. And as always, been your boy TPJ. Find me on Twitter, Instagram at RealTPJ. That's ReelTPJ. It's a film joke. If you don't get it, you damn dummy. It's been a pleasure being with you all this decade. Hopefully, you all will be watching HoopsNBrews 2-3 decades from now when you're with your kids saying, hey, I used to watch these guys when they was in their prime and they was covering the league at a time when, to me, it was the best. As always, this show co-stars rapper extraordinaire Pavy. Go ahead, get your plug and talk to people. Let them know where they can find you at.
As always, man, follow me on Twitter at PavyWorld, Pavy World, all one word. Pavers.com. Go check that out.
Yeah, man. And until next year, we'll get up with y'all. Peace out.
Fresh like I got a contract. Moving through the city, we be going. Roller that you pulling, now you know it. Fresher than a mask.